I'm against buttholes.
Are you, though?
Yes.
12-hour hype. You finally
I'm
reached
not
the
against
12.
them. Hopefully, I'm inside them at some point, though.
Oh my! What the?
What?
Whoa!
Juicy, what Juicy said, he wants to be inside your butt.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got a
I
problem?
know.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he's
That's
already made his home in there, so.
I mean, listen, I'm just trying to figure out if Natsumi wants it, because if she wants it, then we got to fly Juicy out there.
Oh no! I mean, we have a history. Let's just
Look,
say,
it's the poophole
Uh,
loophole,
Oh,
alright?
if the river runs red, take the dirt track instead.
yo, you did not just fucking say that.
I love it.
It's something I read in the lab Bible years ago.
That's
That's
fantastic.
that is right, absolutely.
So,
Alright.
strawberries are delicious. So we got that going for us.
Yeah.
Peaches and cream.
Mm,
Cream pies.
yum.
A cream pie, yes. There's someone I know that comes to my chat, and they call Hermtus. We call them
Wait,
pie
was that an
pie,
invite you just sent me?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
and then I call them pie pie. I'm like, pie pie. You like cream pies?
Smurf cat looking. Wow, what do you guys do? Look, look, Duck. You might have found your match here. All right, a person that might give you a run for your money.
Or
Some
ducks
nice
just
cat looking
run.
ass. What the fuck?
I don't know what that means, but
Look, Duck isn't gonna get a run for his money. Duck just needs to run before we all decide to go inside
yes,
that little
Duck Smurf.
the
Do
poop
you not
field.
know what a
Troll
Smurf
having
is?
fun.
Do you not know what a Smurf is, Duck?
Yeah, but I've never seen a Smurf.
One out of 3,102. Whoa!
What?
Oh,
What'd you ban him for?
he was trolling. Oh, he said the N word? Oh, shit. See, I knew he was already a troll anyway.
Oh, well,
He said
okay.
the N word. Nickelback?
A
Oh,
cat
shit,
is
yeah,
fucking
you're
the
right.
Smurfs. Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Never mind. You're good, Duck. It's forcing me to download all 3,102 of your mods.
I shouldn't have 3,102.
It's forcing me to download 3,102 mods. I had his thing
Oh.
pulled up so I could insta-ban him if he said something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair enough.
And what were you saying about door dashing?
What? I don't
He's
remember.
gonna dash
Yeah, I got a DoorDash
himself
tomorrow.
to your house for a fun night. I don't know.
Oh my, no, I mean, he said it's not helping him out that much
Yeah,
or
not
something,
really.
but it's like,
Not really.
but at least you're reading.
Barely, but yes.
Have you been able to go to the grocery store at some point? Or?
Yeah, that's how I've been eating.
Oh, when did you go to the grocery store?
Got a little bit of food. I've gone to the grocery store multiple times. Every once in a while, a customer will give me some cash tips. So I take those cash tips and I buy food.
Cash tips.
Yes,
Oh,
cash
and-
tips, not the
Oh, and-
tip. Cash tips.
No, it is the tip.
Oh, and hopefully
I
what
wish.
I sent, hopefully what
What?
I sent helped.
Oh
promote
yeah,
you.
yes, it did.
Oh, nice. Oh, so you bought some bread, eggs, and
I
that.
bought like sandwich stuff is what I ended up getting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Cheese, mac and cheese, noodles.
the other day I was handed a cash tip and I was super hungry, and I was out dashing. I was in the middle of dashing, so I used like half that cash tip to get a little Caesar's pizza, so I could have some food. And I actually finished
Nice.
that off this morning. Well, today.
Yeah,
Not this
I can
morning,
tell
but
you
today.
seem I can tell you're in a happier mood as well. Better
I
mood.
mean, that's debatable. I've been live for 12 hours. I'm kind of delirious. I'm on 18 out of 3,102 mods being downloaded, by the way. I
Hmm.
You said 3,000?
yes, 3,102.
Yeah. Oh, so did you buy like frozen food tuna, like a whole bag of
Oh, I don't
nuggets
have
and
that.
stuff?
I don't have that much money. No,
Oh,
it's
it's
sandwich
expensive
stuff.
there. Oh yeah, it
Food's
is, isn't it?
expensive.
Yeah, like over here it's like what, £5 for like a whole bag of nuggets, something or less.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been trying to buy stuff that doesn't require me to actually cook, specifically because
Yeah.
nobody else in this apartment really cleans any of anything, and I don't want
Yeah,
to have to scrub everything out just to cook one meal.
yeah. I meant like because I know you have an air fryer, so like
I'm
the
sure you
frozen
would get
food.
extra if you let them give you the tip, bro. If any of them had
Hmm.
wanted to give me the tip, I wouldn't be totally against it.
Uh, I mean, just the tip. What?
But yeah, there was one dude the other day that like he handed me a cash tip, and the cash tip was literally double what DoorDash paid me for the order.
Nice.
Like,
Oh my
so
God. Yeah.
it was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and today, like I did the most rebellious thing. I just entered my bank details in the kick thing without even telling my bank. I mean, most people do that anyway.
I mean, yeah. Why would you notify your bank? Like they're
Yeah, I
gonna
mean,
figure
obviously,
it
it's
out
not
when
like
they get.
it's a something because it's a new thing.
They're gonna figure it out when money starts coming in. Like, who tells their bank?
No, no, no. I mean, they say it's fine anyway. Like, it's not like, oh, you're not making up to that certain amount, like that it's considered. Blah blah blah.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I said it's like it's not like you're making that much that is considered actual income like on a new site. So they say it's fine, especially for someone I know that has it for Twitch.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though obviously I use my PayPal business for all of that, but unfortunately on Kick there's no PayPal as in payout option yet. So I have to use Stripe.
Yeah. Any and all money that Twitch or that I get through Twitch goes into my PayPal.
Of course, yeah. So it's like with Stripe you have to add your own bank card. Like the one account number and a sort code. And then there was me getting excited. Oh, what if I could add my PayPal business debit card? But I'm like, oh, it has no account number or sort code. No.
I'm now on 26 out of 3,102.
Yeah, and because it doesn't have those, it obviously is because they're not really a bank, they're a payment processor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my gosh. Like on this, it's like you get paid on the first of every month and there's no threshold or anything. Like I literally checked.
This is never gonna finish, just for the record.
It'll finish.
I'm on 31 out of 3,102.
Okay, do you want to switch games then? 'Cause I fucked up. Okay, I didn't think you would have that many. That I didn't even have that many. No, fucking no.
Oh, did you get your condiment?
I, for whatever reason, thought you were gonna stop at condom.
I knew you were gonna say that.
To which I say, I already have some, but I have no use for them because I never get laid. So,
Lol. I mean, so yeah, obviously, I was asking, did you get your condiments, like your sauces and stuff?
I can't afford those sorts of
Oh.
luxuries.
Oh, so aren't there any like cheaper ones
What?
in the market?
Any what?
Aren't there any cheaper ones in the
Fucking
store?
nothing is cheap enough to fit the budget that I have. Like, Nothing. I'm literally living off fucking ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles,
Not
yeah,
even
like
good ones. The cheap
yeah,
fucking nasty ones.
yeah.
If you go and get fast food, raid the sauces.
I mean,
It's-
at least you got
I
your
used
eggs
to
though.
have a fuck ton of sauces. I don't, because again, nobody washes the fucking pans, so
Yeah,
I didn't even bother buying it.
I mean, at least you got your eggs though.
I
Yeah.
literally just responded to that, but whatever. Uh, I used to have a fuck ton of sauces on my desk uh, from fast food places, Duck, but I've gone
Oh
through
yeah,
it all
yeah.
since.
Oh yeah. At least you got your eggs.
I okay. I I already responded to that.
Did you?
Yes.
I mean, I probably couldn't hear. Maybe because it was lagging on my side.
Okay, this is way too many months. I can't do this 3,100 and whatever
Yeah, I
nonsense.
said
All
we
right.
could switch it up, okay?
It's a
I
new
did.
game.
I fucked up.
It's
Leave
a
me
different game.
alone.
All right, just find a fucking multiplayer game. Here we go. Let's do this nonsense. I was gonna find a fucking multiplayer game. I was gonna. No, I don't really want to.
Oh, wait, we're still doing Gary's mod. We
Online
gotta.
people
Oh,
suck.
oh.
Online people suck. I'm. Never mind. No, we're not doing Gary's mod. I just remembered how many times I've heard the N word while playing Gary's mod. Uh, I don't wanna. I don't wanna do that. I'm not trying to get banned. Yeah, the
Yeah,
whole
Juicy,
conversation about the dishes. Exactly.
yeah, I think it lagged on my end when I brought up eggs, so I couldn't really hear your response to that.
And I didn't end up getting them because nobody around here ever washes the fucking pans, and I don't want to just keep washing the fucking pans that everybody else dirtied and didn't wash.
Also, so that's why you can't be bothered to
Yeah.
get, yeah.
I'm tired of cleaning up after people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be annoying.
Yeah, it is incredibly annoying every time.
I mean, have you ever like, do you like hard-boiled eggs? Like, that doesn't really require any washing or anything.
All right, what are we gonna play? What are we gonna play, James?
I don't know. I'm high. I'm not thinking.
Yeah. Have you ever had
Oh
like eggs hard-boiled?
Of course.
Hard-boiled
it's-
eggs?
Yeah.
Of course, I've had
Isn't
hard-boiled
that
eggs.
Yeah, so
I mean,
obviously,
you know, fucking Easter. Everybody hard boils a fuck ton of eggs for Easter.
Yeah.
You know, the fucking. I mean, I guess technically you can consider deviled eggs to be hard boiled eggs. Technically,
Are they?
I eat the shit. I mean, they were hard boiled eggs that got turned into deviled eggs. I eat the shit out of some deviled eggs.
I guess technically, yeah, deviled eggs are hard boiled because that's how you have to make the deviled
Yeah,
eggs. You can't
they're
make it any
hard
other
boiled
way.
and then deviled.
yeah. So don't you think that's a better substitute for like instead of making in the pan? Like there's
I
nothing
eat
to
the
clean or anything.
fuck out of some hard boiled or some deviled eggs. Oh, yeah, I mean, you still
but
gotta
that
you
could-
still gotta wash the fucking pot, which again, nobody fucking washes anything around here.
Yeah, for real.
Yo, I want some deviled eggs now. The fuck, bro?
I want some deviled eggs too. Shut the fuck up.
I'm actually gonna make some. Problem
I'll
is,
make y'all some.
will you really?
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
listen. If you honestly cook for me once, I will probably love you forever. I'm just gonna throw that out there
I'll
because
cook for the whole herd. I mean, Juicy knows I make some good things. He's seen like, yeah.
I'm on my way.
Like,
Well-
remember Juicy made those nuggets?
I will swim across the Atlantic Ocean.
listen. No, all I'm saying is, Juicy, I'm gonna marry her before you can if she cooks good food. Because
Yeah, like I made a chicken nugget sandwich once, and it had like fruits and everything, and Juicy just thought it looked so good, like the presentation.
Food always looks good to me. To be
No,
fair,
I mean, I remember
food
you
pretty much always
saying,
looks
like-
good to me. What the fuck are we
I
gonna
remember you
play?
saying- like without any effort, it just looked decent, decent. Because you did say some people just threw it on the plate, like your exes.
Play. Oh yeah, I mean people in general are just lazy. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Well, listen, Juicy's had a chance to marry you and he didn't take it, so I'm gonna take that offer.
I swear, the samyang noodles and everything. I mean, yeah, like I can cook a chicken broth and that too.
The fuck are we gonna play?
I don't know, Juicy. I do not have a brain cell.
Spaghetti bolognese, mac and cheese, even shepherd's pie.
Fine,
Yeah,
colony
I've made
survival.
shepherd's
Let's
pie.
go.
Colony survival.
Colony survival. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's do this.
Yeah, juicy. I've made shepherd's pie before as well. Cottage pie.
Colony survival.
like that?
Colony survival.
You like shepherd's pie?
I'll be
I
right
don't
back.
know if I even know what that
I get
is.
more drink.
Oh,
How
it's
do you
an
not know
Irish
shepherd's
pie.
pie, motherfucker?
pie-
That's a pie with a fuck ton of meat in it, right?
Yeah, and mashed potatoes.
It's like a
and
pie
stuff.
with
It's
the.
great.
Oh yeah. I've never actually had it.
Yeah, I've made that before. Cottage pie is so good. Shepherd's pie. And I've made pizza.
I mean, I made pizza many times.
Especially when it comes to baking a cake.
I don't bake. I can't bake. I don't know how.
Oh, yeah, I've made some cookies. I'd love to learn to make some croissants.
I can
baklava.
cook. I'm good at cooking, not at baking.
I've made some sloppy joes one time too.
I can make the fuck out of some meatballs.
Mm-hmm.
I make meatballs like that. They're like Juicy Lucy meatballs. They're fucking
Oh my.
because it's modeled after a burger called the Juicy Lucy burger, which is
Yeah.
2 burger patties with cheese cooked into the middle of it. So they cook the 2 patties together with cheese in the middle. So the meatballs
Yeah.
are literally a meatball with a chunk of cheese in the middle of each
Yum.
meatball.
I love cheese.
And I top it with some marinara and like some form of cheese. So it could be like a shredded mozzarella or like a
Hey, yo, I found some snacks.
shaved parmesan is one. Like a Gouda crumble is the one that I used the most.
I did.
Yeah. And I actually sold them as an appetizer at the resort that I used to work at. And because it was my recipe, I got paid for every sale of the Juicy Lucy meatballs. I made more money off of those meatballs than I made off of my actual pay.
Nice.
It became our most popular appetizer.
Juicy, I am in if you would like to join.
Okay, cool.
I think you should be able to just join automatically, if I'm not mistaken.
I do like
Theoretically.
souffle. If you've ever had that.
I have never
Souffle
had
could be
souffle.
good.
I have never had
yeah.
a souffle.
Oh, I did have McDonald's the other day, and they're doing a Monopoly thing again with the stickers,
Oh god.
and you can win prizes and shit. I won another McFlurry.
All
and a
right, awesome.
McMuffin.
18 people are gonna die.
So I can't wait to redeem those, stickers. Free McFlurry, yay! And a McMuffin. Yeah, so you know what I had in
Because
McDonald's?
they
The big
apparently
spicy.
didn't learn their fucking lesson. The
It
last
was-
time McDonald's did the fucking Monopoly shit here in America, literally 18 people were killed over the fucking Monopoly.
Oh, that never
Nonsense.
happens here. See, this is why we're peaceful.
No, that is not true.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Britain is no more peaceful than America is. You just don't have guns.
When it comes to the Monopoly thing, we don't lose our shit over it. Like, It's like,
Americans take
oh,
that shit real seriously.
oh, I
Alright?
know.
They
'Cause,
take it
I
real
know.
seriously.
I was nearly about to give those to a homeless person that I saw on the street, but they were gone by the time I, left McDonald's. Because what I ate in McDonald's was like, the burger was just as big as a double Whopper. Their new burger at the same menu, the big spicy.
I haven't
Mm.
seen it.
Oh my god! And obviously I had a large chocolate milkshake. And then what pissed me off the
Obviously.
most,
I'm just
yeah,
getting
and
hungry.
what may piss me off the most is some of the McFlurries they don't use sauces on there anymore.
Oh,
Like the
rip.
Maltesers McFlurry. Yeah, I was like, "Ugh," but most McFlurries they still do. Like the flake, Cadbury, raspberry. They even had the Lotus Biscoff McFlurry, if you know that.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's really good. Biscoff cookies
Ah,
and
goddamn
Biscoff
it.
spread. It's so good.
I don't know if they
Fucking
have that
these
over here.
people.
They do.
Yeah, Biscoff
Lotus
does
brand.
exist out here.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
more difficult to find.
Yeah, but obviously, I do feel like KFC gives you the most for your money. Besides Burger King, but KFC, yeah.
I would actually disagree.
No,
KFC's
over
kind of
here they do.
expensive out here.
Oh, it's actually quite cheap here. I mean, you get so much for your money compared to
Not
McDonald's.
here.
Yeah, because I remember McDonald's being like £8 or something for like a meal and everything with it, and now it's like £12 and £16. And compared to KFC, for
No.
that you can get enough for two people. Oh, and I had some chocolate wafers today. They were covered in chocolate,
Boom.
the coating.
Off of that. Off. Damn fucking cat. I swear.
I just completed a new technology.
Look.
Mm-hmm.
We have the technology.
Um,
Yeah, because I just unlocked it. Wherever it went. Oh, here it is. So we can now make porridge.
oh yeah.
Ooh.
There you go. We can make porridge now. Now we just need to figure out how to get pots of water. So that we can make porridge.
Isn't there like a job for like a water bearer or some shit?
No idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Porridge for Goldilocks.
Nope, for me, because I'm fat.
Thick.
You want to talk
I mean,
about
we're
fat? I'm
thick
fat.
in here. I'm fatter. What? I'm with thick sword. No, I'm joking. I'm thick.
I'm just fat.
I'm not fat, I'm big boned.
I just got cake. I got that cake. And you want to be the baker? Well.
I mean, sure.
No, no, I called her first, damn it.
I'm glad that
Get a
Americans are like,
water
yeah,
pump.
you ain't fat compared to like I'm like, oh, because in Europe people are like, oh, you slightly more slight weight. Oh, they go crazy.
There we
They're
go. We got
obsessed
a
with
water
skinny
pump.
things.
Listen, a woman could be a big girl, but if her body is showing that that's actually like its natural healthy weight, I'm cool with that shit. It's when people start letting themselves go as I don't understand, because you are literally ruining, not ruining, you're making your quality of life so low.
I mean, yeah, that's for some people, but then most people went through trauma, and then there's some who have like medical conditions where
Right, no,
they
no,
can't
but
control it. Yeah.
what I'm saying is the people that do have those and they take care of themselves versus some people who have those or don't and just do the whole woe is me or pity me. Those are the ones
Yeah.
I don't hate them. I don't understand how that's an okay mindset when you literally destroy your quality of life.
Yeah, I mean, depression can, yeah, like emotional eating. Like you're eating your feelings,
Yeah.
basically.
I eat my
Yeah.
feelings for sure. I mean, if you eat too much cake, you do get some cake on you. I mean,
Well, yeah, cake
if
can
you're
be
a messy eater.
cheesecake though. Cheesecake is the best.
Oh, yes, please. I haven't had cheesecake in forever. What's a fucking cheesecake?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, Rex, like when I lost 62 pounds, it was great. And then I'd even lost the weight I put on during the pandemic and during the central London part outings. Whew, gotta lose even more.
I need to lose all the weight that I've been
Right,
gaining
but
since I graduated high school.
I guess let me see if I can put this in a better wording, because I
Excuse
know my
me.
brain isn't
Yeah,
fucking working. You
yeah.
have some people who gain 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds because of that, and are
Hmm.
like, oh, I don't like that, and they backtrack. That's fine, or they realize
Yeah.
the issue. But what what I'm saying is, and this is just because I'm in a medical field now, I'm
Hmm.
dealing with people who are 5, 6. I've dealt with my first 700 a few days ago,
Yeah, it's
and
crazy. I mean, over there. Yeah.
like that is where I is my concern of, like,
That's what I'm
okay,
saying.
like you
Yeah.
like I knew a guy who was about 360. He was a big boy, but he could still get up and move and do stuff, and he was trying to work on himself. But
Hmm.
then being the 700-pounder who we actually had to call a tow truck to tow them
Hmm.
onto the back of a flatbed because we could not put them
Hmm.
on any stretcher we had.
Yeah.
How are they okay with that? Like,
Yeah.
why aren't they getting help or anything, or why are they okay with that? Because your quality of life is garbage.
Yeah, some people don't even want help. Some people think it's just the end of the world. And some people handle grief differently, like they just can't let go or move on, or something must have happened that. And then there's just some who are really addicted to food. I mean, some people have crazy addictions, don't they?
I
They just love food.
suck. I can't fucking hit anything to save my life right now. Jesus Christ. Just
Right.
fucking die, will you? Thank you. Jesus Christ. Oh,
Yeah,
coming up behind you.
it's crazy how addictive junk food can be.
Oh, well, because sugar releases dopamine, and people don't realize that
Yeah.
it's like being addicted
Mhm.
to caffeine, like for me,
Mhm.
or other stuff. But
Did you
yeah,
fucking get it? This
Yeah,
fucking
it's
zombie just
really
dodged
sad.
all of my fucking stones.
And you know what the worst thing is on TikTok, and they're promoting all this and calling it body positivity. It's really disturbing. And some
like,
people have died because of it. Yeah.
mm, oh yeah, like, be happy that you love yourself and you're working on your body, but also don't ruin your quality of life
Mhm.
so deeply. Like, I don't know. That may sound horrible to say that. I just
Oh no, you're just saying how you feel. Like, yeah, and you're right. Like, because life is too short, and
Yeah, it
yeah,
like
you
is.
just
I get the
yeah.
eating conditions and the depression and everything. My uncle had that. He was
Mhm.
380. And he could still
Mhm.
get up and move, but he was just a big boy. He would always lay on the couch and everything like that.
Mhm.
Well, then
Mhm.
his two kids actually got grandkids, and one of them, you know,
Mhm.
his name's Cooper. Cooper asked my uncle Frank to promise him that he'll watch him graduate to get into the astronaut job that he wants to do. And my uncle Frank sat there, said that, looked at himself, and said, "Fuck it, I'm getting rid of this." And now he's down to 197, I believe.
Hey, fucking good
Nice.
for him. That's
GG.
fucking awesome.
GG.
Ah, back to
And
Yeah.
slave using. Oh my god, King.
what
How do you
for?
keep ending up here
I
every
think it's like
time this game is on?
4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, he actually started. But yeah, and what's funny is he's pure Italian. So when you first saw him, he looked like the big Italian mob bosses in movies, like the "Hey, you see here." But then now that he's cut all the weight,
Because I
and
smell the slavery. Oh my
his
god.
like gray hair is showing everything, he actually looks like the fucking Godfather. I wish I was kidding.
Wow.
You
I'm
know,
talking the little cheek puff for his dimples and stuff, talking the whole fucking 9 yards. The only
I've
thing is that he sounds younger.
never
And
seen that movie.
uh, it's
Yeah.
actually pretty good. Like the first one is actually pretty good. If you like crime
And I
and
know
dramas and
people
that type.
like people fucking adore those movies.
I mean,
I've
I've
never
seen
seen
those.
them.
Also. My mum loves those Al Pacino movies. Yeah, Godfather,
Yeah,
Scarface, and all that.
I've never seen them.
I did love
Casino.
Scarface.
I've never seen
Scarface
that
was at
either.
least kind of entertaining. It just
They're still on Netflix. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Damn
Just
it!
towards the end of the film, just is like, "Yup, I'm gonna go down in style and I'm gonna do it my way." Takes
Raise that-
like
what?
handful or two
No.
handfuls of cocaine and just.
Oh my god.
That sounds like a
And
good
he-
day to me.
And he literally and he was with someone who was like you know, she's like in our age range, and now they're like divorcing or something. There's and he had a kid with her,
Oh
and
yeah,
he's
yeah,
in his
yeah.
80s now. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was another good scene from Scarface because there's a lot of good ones.
Have we figured out how to get leather? I mean,
Leather
we need a
face?
tanner.
Is it not from that little like
The
water line
tanner
right there?
requires animal carcasses. But what animal carcasses? There are no animals. Wait, why is this guy not getting any water? Is it because we've reached the allotted amount of water?
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm gonna set it to 200 water. Use slave hide. Whoa, 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 whoa. They're not slaves, guys. Alright?
They're colonists
Exactly.
that we just don't pay to do work for us.
We pay them in food.
And we
And
call
a
them
l-
racial slurs.
And a life that they get to shut the fuck up!
We paid them in goats and bread.
I'm gonna throw myself off a cliff.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Sure. I'm just gonna go die now. Thanks.
Bye. No, I'm joking.
Glad to see you back. Wow. The dude who said the N-word was quoting Juicy. He did not. He was not quoting me. Jesus fucking Christ. Orders a colonist to work here as a primitive cook. Oh, water gatherer. Must be placed next to a water function. Okay. What does water function mean?
the river.
Wait, isn't this guy already gathering water from this pump that I built? Yeah, he's already gathering pots of water. So you're saying that Juice created the N-word with time travel? Yes. That's nuts. I need that time machine.
Hey yo, should I yell the N-word?
Oh, he's not potting more water because there's not enough pots for him to pot water. No, you shouldn't yell the N-word.
Nickelback.
How dare you? You're not nearly old enough to enjoy dad rock. It's not true. I love Nickelback.
Same.
Hey yo, I mean it's Nickelback.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, it's your boys, Nickelback.
Hey yo, it's them boys.
Fucking Nickelback coming at you with another
Nickelback. What?
with another song that's gonna get memed to shit.
Wanna be a rock star?
The ironic thing is that people give them so much shit but meme the fuck out of them so that their shit never dies.
Non-expired shit.
It's
Lifelong shit.
funny as fuck that they're literally doing exactly the opposite of what they say they want. They're
Well,
like,
shit,
we just want Nickelback to
longevity.
go away and stop playing these songs, but then they meme the fuck out of it so the song keeps getting played.
Well, so here's the thing. The thing that's happening to Nickelback is the same thing that happened to Ozzy Osbourne. Everyone hated him. Well, no, that's literally that. Everyone hated him. Everyone was saying that he was, a Satanist. He was, Antichrist and everything. So they would have riots. It'd be over the news. It'd be on media, and
Yeah.
It built his popularity. It's the exact same method. I mean, there's a video game out there called Hatred that did the same fucking thing. Use negativity in a positive light. Also, I need to get into our inventory. There we go. Fuck. Don't drop the phone. What was I doing? I was gonna grab that to do that.
Yeah, so we got copper ingots, but we need animal carcasses so that we can complete the tanner, so that we can make
Shit, longevity.
leather, so that we can get an anvil.
I forgot how to get animal carcasses.
I don't know how to
Oh,
get
from the
animal
trader.
carcasses.
From the trader, we have to trade
Oh,
it.
you mean the trader that we don't actually have placed?
Yep.
Maybe we should place one.
Yeah, we might need to place one.
So what he's saying, if you get more saves, you can max negatively and get a positive on the backs of slaves. Wait, what? Oh, so what he's saying is if you get more slaves, you can max negatively and get a positive on the backs of slaves. I'm still confused as to what that means. They're not slaves. We gave them a home.
Yep, it's called a dungeon.
We gave them a home and a purpose. It's not a dungeon.
It's a dungeon.
Stop feeding into it, man. It means exactly what it means. More negative for them means more positive for you.
Exactly.
I mean, isn't that the way that the economy works? More negative for the people at the bottom means more positive for the people at the top. It's the way our economy works. We don't have trickle-down economics. We have trickle-up economics. It's the way our shit works. It's just an economy. It's just not money. Slaveonomics, it's not. Oh my god, they're not slaves. Gonna throw everyone off a cliff. Not just myself this time. I'm gonna drag you all down there with me.
Oh no. I nearly choked on my chocolate wafer when I heard that. Lol.
You choked on your chocolate.
I was about to say, I'll give you something to choke on.
Oh,
Only if you say please.
No. I'll say you're welcome. It's not an opportunity that I give to just anyone.
yeah. I remember when in,
100%
Juicy,
your most talked about game, Slave Rancher 6. Oh my god.
Yes. Juicy has dignity.
Well, I don't know about that.
Because you don't just give it to anyone.
Oh, that. Yeah, no, I just have standards.
Yeah, because obviously because you're staying safe as well.
I'm
You
just
never
not a
know.
slut. That's what it.
Neither am I.
Wait, am I actually
People
allowed
act
to
like
say that word
one.
on Twitch? I don't think I'm actually allowed to say that word on Twitch.
A salute. Yeah.
I'm not a sleazeball in a different way than what a sleazeball normally means.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not
just
one, but I can act like one, as you know.
phasing right through these motherfuckers. Shush. Going right through these motherfuckers. I hit that. I killed him by shooting him in the knee. You mean other people have standards? JK. Wow. Wow. Yes, but
Hey,
also,
hey,
what the
Cash.
fuck?
Yo, Cash. How you doing?
Alright, Joey. These motherfuckers need to stop turning. Stop it. Just walk in a fucking straight line so I can shoot you. Just funnel yourselves in here. Okay.
Have you heard of sexual reproduction?
Yes.
Yeah. I've done it
And
a
I
few
heard,
times.
well, they said you just need some bone marrow or something, and then the person just can get pregnant with
Yeah.
their own.
Yep.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, is that it's going to have the same consequential DNA as incest, so they really don't recommend it. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like, it's if someone like, if two males want are gay, but they also want to have like a kid that's both their DNAs, that's another method they can do, is actually the bone marrow from one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the real big time it's actually useful. Every other time you're running into major risks.
No, I prefer to do it the old-fashioned way, thanks. It's just safer.
So they're saying Komodo dragons and some monitor lizards can also reproduce asexually.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I remember that from time back. Some species do.
Yes. Yeah. There are quite a few species, actually, that are able to
Yeah,
impregnate themselves.
indeed. It's literally the whole new meaning to go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the octopus that rips its dick off and throws it at the
Octopussy?
female. There's a species of octopus that the male will literally rip its dick off and throw it at a female so she can inseminate herself.
Yep.
Yeah, just like how the seahorse
Well,
gets.
yeah, the seahorse is both male and female at the same time.
Yeah, like they get the baby sack thing and then they give birth to like 1,000 or more babies. The male father.
Yerp.
Pregnant fathers, yeah.
Just saying, fish kind of got the short end of the stick.
Fish sticks?
Fish got the short end of the stick, alright? I mean, they reproduce, like, the female just kind of squirts eggs all over the place, and then the man just sort of jizzes over the top of them.
Yeah.
They kind of got the short end of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what up, James? Ow, that hurt. I only have 22 health. Please don't murder me again.
Do you have anything important in your inventory?
I have
You.
a fucking sling and a bunch of stones
Is that it?
and diamonds and carcasses and all the things that we need in order to. Okay, go fuck yourself.
Hey, that was like in motion shooting. You have to admit, I'm doing good.
I want to murder the mosquito that my fucking roommates let into the goddamn apartment. So now it's flying around my room. Because this is why I keep ending up with bug bites all over my feet. They keep letting fucking mosquitoes in the apartment. My feet are covered in bug bites.
Oof.
And now I have one on my face. and one on
Oh.
my leg.
Mhm.
And it's bad because they get like real itchy. I'm literally missing flesh on my feet because of these fucking bug bites.
What about a foot fetish?
Nothing about a fetish. I'm missing flesh.
Why'd you take the flesh off your foot?
There are entire chunks of my feet that have no flesh on them. Well, they have flesh, obviously,
why
but
you-
not as much as they're supposed to be.
Why are you taking your flesh off?
I'm not doing it on purpose.
So it's also that's now I remember, yeah. So the bone marrow, like they turned the
Oh my
bone marrow
God,
into
King.
sperm, the female bone marrow,
Mm-hmm.
and male bone marrow into eggs,
Mm-hmm.
Or,
making
alright, here's my counter offer. Just have sex.
making reproduction possible for lesbian couples, gay couples, and yes, asexual couples.
They can still... Okay.
I'll be right back. Yeah, go inside.
Adult stem cells extracted from human bone marrow have been coaxed into becoming male reproductive cells. Yeah.
It's not gonna work correctly.
It's like, hey, I'm a bone marrow baby.
I don't think it's gonna work properly.
Yeah. What the thing?
What?
Oh no, yeah, you're talking about your game.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the fucking bone marrow babies. I don't think it's
Yeah.
gonna work properly.
Yeah, they're gonna be like literally something like jellyfish, like
Or they're just
things.
not going to live a normal life slash lifespan.
Yeah.
Because it's not the way that it's meant to be. We're literally just
Yeah.
playing with fucking nature again. We need to stop.
I know, right? It's so unethical, especially like the stem cell thing.
We need to
Um,
fucking
um,
stop.
Yeah, genetic engineering and all of that.
I mean, I'm okay with learning about stuff, but I don't think that we should be making babies in tubes. I understand wanting to just for science figure out if it's possible. That's fine. I don't have a problem with learning if it's possible. I have a problem with actually doing it as like a quote unquote viable method of keeping humanity going. Just fucking have sex. It's not complicated.
Yeah, it says here, obviously, and I remember this from a while ago.
So many
scientists have
people play
created-
with nature. Prawn with animals is bad. Yes, it is.
Yeah, bestiality. Scientists have created synthetic human embryos using stem cells. Yeah, they did that a while back.
I mean,
Synthetic
again,
embryos.
I don't have a problem with figuring out if it's possible. I have a problem with making it a viable option, or trying to make it a viable option for, reproduction. That's not the way that it should be. I could understand wanting to if something happens and like one gender ends up becoming completely eradicated somehow. It would make sense then to be like, oh well, we got to do something to try to get the other gender going again. So here we go. Let's do this
Yeah.
thing. So that would make some sense. But beyond
Yeah.
that, I don't see the purpose. Like just reproduce. It's
Yeah,
not
and
a
then there's-
complicated process. We've
Yeah,
been doing
and
it
then-
for millennia.
Yeah,
Just
and they
keep
do
doing
this thing
it.
called. Yeah, and then they do this thing called a bone marrow transplant.
Well, that's fine. I mean, that's just like any other sort of transplant.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's just keeping people alive. That makes sense to me. I have no problems with transplants. Because that's literally just that's something that somebody's going to regrow. They're going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. But again, I don't have a problem with learning if things are possible and experimenting with things and figuring stuff out. That's the whole purpose of our existence, I believe, is to try to figure out how the universe functions. It makes sense to me to want to figure it out. But basically replacing sexual reproduction with literally test tube babies is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous thought. Bone marrow transplant is for leukemia most of the time. Yes. You're literally saving somebody's life. And that I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem. I'm not a fucking, like, Jehovah's Witness. I don't have a problem with, like, blood transfusions or anything like that. Like, that's just keeping people alive. I'd make I make more blood. Take some of mine. It's fine.
Yeah. Hey, Cash.
So I don't have problems with that sort of stuff. I have problems with people toying with nature in ways that it shouldn't be toyed with. Which is a complete 180 from where I stood when I was in high school. So it's like, yeah, fuck it, cloning, let's go. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, no, fuck that. That's like, we shouldn't be doing it.
Especially those hybrid things. Like,
Yeah, we shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
We should not be fucking around with the fucking genome. Like,
yeah. Well, and what if the robots turn on us?
because I genuinely feel like us fucking with the genome is going to be what actually ends up leading to our own extinction. We are going to drive ourselves into extinction by trying to fuck around with our own genome.
Yep.
We're going to drive ourselves into extinction. I mean, we're already doing that? Yes, we are. But we're going to be doing it a lot faster.
Yeah.
If we start doing things like cloning and, using scientific methods of reproduction other than just a basic biology. Because we're going to end up fucking up our genome by creating children that aren't made in the way that we're meant to be made. So we're going to be missing, we're going to eventually be missing part of our genome. We're going to end up fucking up the genome. We're going to, like, somehow change the fucking sequence, and we're going to drive ourselves into fucking extinction.
Yep, and I've always thought, what if the whole world turned, gay? Wouldn't that, cause extinction, maybe, or?
I mean, possibly, it might, but there are also a lot of gay people that are like, fuck it, I'll have some fucking kids anyway. Like, YOLO, I want superpowers. You're not going to be giving yourself superpowers. You're going to be creating literally future generations of people who aren't even actually able to function because they're missing half their fucking genome. Like, half their genetic sequence just simply doesn't fucking exist. That's how we have already ended up with missing parts of genomes. That's how we ended up with things like autism and like genetic disorders. It's literally we're already missing parts of our genome. We've already fucked up our genetic coding.
Yeah, especially inbreeding, like when it comes to cousins.
Most of that is down to incest, because there was a lot of it back in the day.
Hey,
Well, obviously,
I gotta defend myself now here. Since we're getting into this crazy topic, I was like, yeah, okay, text is not working. Yo, bro, let me tell you, right? So we're gonna get into this topic, bro. Yes, there's a lot of problems, but like you mentioned autism and the genome and like how autism is like within our genetic makeup of some
I
people.
wasn't
It's like
necessarily thinking autism. I was thinking more along the lines of like Down syndrome and stuff like that. Who
says we can't remove that from being? That's just an extra Y chromosome, dude. Like,
I mean, technically, sure, but if you fuck with something long enough, you're eventually going to fuck it up. Is my point.
mean,
Like,
if we weren't
there's
doing
no
that to begin with, we wouldn't be
guarantee
at this point.
that creating like a test tube baby, or say simply just a clone, there's no way to know that they're going, like, they might, could be something wrong with it. Like, it might not live as long, it might be more susceptible to disease, there's all sorts of potential issues.
Okay, well, I mean, if people were thinking about the potential issues the whole time, we wouldn't be living up to 100 years now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Like, science
very
has
few
brought-
people actually get to do that, but yeah.
I mean, as time goes, more and more people are reaching 100, though. I mean, people are only reaching up to like 40s and 50s. They were dying in their 40s and 50s, dog. Like, think
That's
about
true.
the longevity of the average
But it's
person.
also, we've changed like our diets, and like lifestyle has changed. Because when you talk about like people used to live to like 40s or 50s, that was back in a time when like water wasn't even safe to drink, and most people were drinking beer for hydration. Like, and like didn't have indoor plumbing and stuff like that, and
I
like,
mean, even after we figured that out-
sanitization was like not a thing.
I mean, even after we figured that out, we had shit like plagues running down people that were just like taking them out.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
If it
but they
wasn't
weren't
for
taking
science-
care of the plumbing properly at that point either. When, you know, like the plague was happening, there were literally shit in the streets, which thankfully doesn't happen nearly as much today as it did back then. But hang on, bro, I got mad at you for OE and now I'm almost at 100. See, boom. Actually, no, most people did live to 50 to 70. Normally life expectancy was so low because of the massive rate of child death. Yes, that was also a thing. We've gotten better at keeping babies alive. That is also accurate. We've gotten better at keeping babies alive. We've changed our diets to be
depending
more
on where you are
healthy
in the
for the most part. It's more healthy, at least in like the Western world, or like what could be called first world nations. Because unfortunately, a significant portion of the planet still doesn't live very long. Like, most people in Africa will not even live to be 60. So, because they don't have access to, like, healthcare, as good of healthcare, obviously.
I mean, it
But
really
they're
depends
also
on
like
where in
hungry. They don't have, a significant portion of the continent doesn't even have drinkable water.
massive disease.
Yes.
Specifically, that they think like curing AIDS, you fucking kill a fucking virgin. Like, it's fucking nuts out
Yeah,
there.
I mean, that's just like backwards thinking that still exists. They'll get through that eventually. The rest of the world
man.
did, so I don't know. I don't know. In that regard, I wish other people would be more helpful in actually helping them fix their issues, helping them improve. The problem is that people don't tend to care. A significant portion of the world thinks, oh, well, that's on a completely different continent. Why should I give a fuck? Because those are humans that are suffering, and you should give a fuck about them. That's why. But, yeah, I don't know. I struggled for a long... Like, I still struggle with the idea of genetically modified food. Like,
mean-
it's
How old are you again? You're
30.
I know, right?
Okay, so so when they were doing the whole genetically modified food thing, they were testing it within our generation.
Yes.
They were literally just sending it to schools. If you
Yes,
went to
they
public
were.
school, you were tested on. You were a guinea pig,
Yep.
and the government did not give a fuck.
Yep.
So I mean, realistically, like, the governments don't give a fuck about you.
No, that's factual. Governments don't tend to give a fuck about their populace. They give a fuck about themselves. They don't really give a fuck about the general population. And that much I don't believe will ever change.
It depends.
I would like to think that hopefully it would. I hope that one day it will change, but I don't see it changing anytime soon.
Well, things are gonna get bad before they get better. I mean,
Yeah,
think about it.
I mean,
These
look at the
people
state of the
that
world right now.
these people that ran
It's a fucking
like
mess.
things into the ground are like gonna be dead, and pretty soon, like the people that are taking things seriously, like these doctors and stuff, are gonna be passing next, and then. You know, when we're old and we need help, they're gonna be these people that have no idea what they're fucking doing,
Exactly.
trying to take care of us.
Because they were never
Like,
taught, because the previous generations didn't give a shit to teach them.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that. I think it's more that people are taking the easy route rather than learning what they need to learn.
I mean, that's also true. There are a lot of people
Like
who just take the easy route.
it's too much like it's too much access to information. Like people are short term memorizing things, and like once they're done with what they're doing, like it's right out the window. It's nuts.
See, my memory functions entirely the opposite. My short-term memory is garbo, but my long-term memory is perfect.
Sounds like you need to be a doctor, dog.
No. No. I can't
You
be a
got some
doctor.
steady hands, bro.
No, I don't. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, you could be
I
you
have
could be another
severe PTSD, so
doctor.
my hands shake real bad. I was very, very heavily abused in every sense of the word for the first 14 years of my life. So, no, I could not be a doctor. I would kill someone, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be responsible for somebody's death.
You don't have to be a surgeon. You can be a regular. You can be a regular like.
I mean, I already write like a doctor.
But at least we survived.
Barely.
Yeah.
I barely made it to 15. Growing up, I genuinely thought I was going to be dead before 20.
I mean, yeah, I know from what I know, yeah, you've been through much worse. Yeah.
I've been through a lot.
Same.
A lot that, most of which I wouldn't wish on my worst fucking enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not good shit. But,
I know.
like, what was my point? There's that old...
We strayed away.
The shitty old short term again. Yeah, no, the initial conversation was on...
Cloning, yo. People need to be cloned, bro.
Excuse me. I used to think that. But then I started thinking more about the... I mean, I don't feel like it's... I hate to use the word not ethical, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the idea of cloning now. I think it's a cool concept, the idea of cloning, and I'm not entirely against I'm not entirely against the idea of cloning animals. It's human cloning that I struggle with the idea of, like, I don't
think we've done
know.
we've done enough like damage to the animal kingdom. It seems like that's the area where we've done the most damage.
It is the area we've done the most damage. My point, though, is like we rely on animals for a very significant portion of our food source. Because, gotta have protein. It's necessary. We are omnivores naturally. We're naturally omnivorous. We need the protein and all of the other nutrients that are in meat. So, I mean, right now, we don't really need it, the cloning, because we're farming enough animals. Like, we're doing fine with animals, for the most part. The problem there is all these people that are upset about the way that the animals are treated. which I understand wanting to treat animals properly, but at the same time, these are animals that are explicitly being raised to be slaughtered. So
Yeah, but the thing
honestly,
is, a lot of these places are finding like the worst places they can find and saying like that's everywhere. Not every
exactly.
slaughterhouse
No,
or
I know.
every place treats animals like that. They're just finding
No, I
the
know.
outliers and then saying, "Oh, look at how every single animal in these slaughterhouses are treated, or
Yeah,
you know, in these grow farms are treated." They're just
which
it's
is
just not
exactly my
that.
point. But like right now, we're we're farming animals sufficiently enough to feed ourselves. So right now, it's not necessary to clone them or even make synthetic meat. It's not even necessary. The only reason
What
we've
makes you
been making synthetic meat right now is because of all these vegetarians and vegans that for whatever reason want food that tastes and looks like meat but don't want to actually eat meat. Just eat the
mm,
fucking meat if that's what you want.
I don't 100%. I don't 100%.
I don't know. I just don't understand why we're making synthetic meat.
Well,
Like,
I mean, if you go to the store and buy ground meat, I'm telling you, at least 30% of that meat is actually filler.
oh, of course. Yeah, no, I know that. It's been that way for ages. Like that's not a new thing that's happened since we started making synthetic meats. I mean, they've already been putting like oatmeal into shit and like just shoving shit into shit. And just
Right.
selling it and marketing it as, well, yeah, this is just ground beef, but really it's like 10% oatmeal. Like,
I mean, I mean, if it was oatmeal, that's not even what I'm worried about. I'm worried
yeah,
about it being
yeah.
like,
I know. I was just using that as an example.
right,
But yeah, I know they're putting a lot of other shit in there that they really should not be putting in there.
right,
Stuff that people are not supposed to be consuming, even.
right, and that's the problem.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. There was a time where I was all for the concept of cloning. I and again, just me as a person who enjoys science and seeing things happen that didn't used to be possible. I I like the concept. It intrigues me. But there's also a lot of like ethical and moral things that people keep bringing up. I myself also am not religious, but I was raised in a religious family, and so there's still a part of me that's like clinging to this, like, we shouldn't be creating humans out of not what humans are supposed to be made out of.
I mean,
Like,
they're still using for the most part a process, but you know, an artificial womb and things like that. They're not like accelerating the process. What they want to do is like remove these hereditary diseases and shit like
I
that.
mean, I can understand that.
Raise IQ, change eye
I
color, things
I'm
like
just
that.
there's a part of me that's afraid that in humanity's quest to perfect our genome, we'll end up destroying it. That's because if you look around at basically everything humans have tried to do throughout history, we've fucked it all up. Like, we can't even govern ourselves properly. How are we going to maintain the genome
I mean, it
if we
wouldn't even
start
be the
fucking
average
with it?
person. It wouldn't even be the average person that is going to be cloning things. It's going to be out of, for the most part, out of necessity. I mean, it's eventually like way into the future. People will probably get all steampunky and fucking start, you know, Edward Elricking themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like far into the future. Like, there's gonna be a point where there's gonna be so many people on Earth that like you're gonna need to clone shit. You're gonna need to like clone a smaller appetite and be able to, you know, use
Yeah,
less
yeah,
resources to be better.
right.
Like, or it's either that or start calling people.
I mean,
Start initiate a purge every year or something.
there's also this thing called evolution. If we just implement a system, eventually we will adapt to it, and we won't need to consume as much and yada yada yada.
We're to implement a system. How do you implement a system where people wouldn't stay in their houses during a pandemic? People were like, "Oh, there's a pandemic outside. Let's go on a fucking adventure."
Again, I don't trust humans to do literally anything, which is why I struggle with the idea of humans. Again, take exactly that. We couldn't even trust people to not go outside and not spread a fucking plague. How are we going to trust them with the human genome? Like,
I mean, I don't know, dog. People don't usually like, oh, let's mess with this and let's make things worse. They want to extend longevity. They want to find immortality.
yeah, no, I
and shit
understand
like
that. I understand that.
And if we're on that path, I mean, we're on the path of killing ourselves anyways. We're like one
That's
nuke away
true.
from fucking being fucking wiped off of the face of the earth. So I'd rather somebody fuck around and figure out, hey, how do we go ahead and make ourselves like immune to radiation? Like, I'm down with that.
I mean, yes. It's I don't know. I mean, I know it'll never be a problem that I personally have to deal with.
I mean, you
because
don't know
it's
well,
I mean,
the genome thing, yes.
Yes,
but like
that's what I mean. The genome thing. No, the genome thing is definitely something that I'm definitely not going to have to worry about in my lifetime. But like, I'm not going to have to worry about the consequences of it. But that doesn't mean that I can't have an opinion on it. But the nuke thing, yeah, I mean, again, like I said in like hour 2 of the stream, I saw an article literally earlier today where Putin was threatening nuclear war. So yeah, I mean, that's possible. I might have to worry about that, but I don't know. Part of me is just kind of ready to go anyway. I don't know. I've spent 30 years on this planet, which is already 10 more than I thought I was going to live when I was 10 years old. So, I don't know. My life isn't doing so great anyway. May as well put me out of my misery.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But I don't know.
You can still facilitate change and
It's true.
make an impact. I
I have things that I want to do. The problem is that it seems like every time I'm getting close, the universe fucks me in some way, and my whole fucking life collapses. It happens all the fucking time, and I struggle to work through that and not just end up super depressed. I struggle a lot.
If life wasn't filled with challenges, then our successes wouldn't feel as great as they do.
That's true.
It's about learning how to go ahead and get through the challenges and reap the rewards of your success. I mean, I don't want to sound like one of those people that stand on the podium and they're like, "Oh, this is what you got to do and this is how you do to succeed." It's just like we're meant to suffer through all our lives so we can go ahead and enjoy those wins all that much more.
That's true. Without anguish, the other thing, I'm fucking up my words.
Sorry, man. I get it. It's just one of those things that we have to try our best to go ahead and use the cards that we're dealt with and use both the negative and the positive to go ahead and shape ourselves.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Me and you might not be having this conversation if you were born into a fucking Ku Klux Klan fucking community, right?
I mean, probably not. Because if I were born into the fucking KKK, I probably would have been indoctrinated into that nonsense, and I'd be fucking bigoted.
Right. You'd be a totally different person. But even some of those people, they like, I know of one person that I've met throughout my life, and he was born into that, and he struggles with self identity, and he knows like some of the negative feelings that he deals with is wrong, but like
Right.
he every day tries to go ahead and like view everybody as, hey,
Oh my God, Duck.
we're the same. You say FBI?
Yeah, he just opened up just played the FBI soundbite.
But it's one of those things that like people try to be better, but when you're stuck in these echo chambers, right? And
Yes.
people are telling you the same thing over and over
Yep.
and over again. It's hard to fucking leave that shit.
Yes, it is. It really
So,
is.
funny thing is like the guy I'm talking about, he's married to his wife is a black chick.
Okay.
And he calls me every once in a while, and he's like, "Yo, I struggle with this shit every day because sometimes we argue, and I get into this mode." And I'm like, "Look, you're a different person. You
Right.
learn to be different, and you've learned that what you were doing is wrong. That's the first step. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like humans aren't innately racist. We're innately problems to other people because humans seek destruction.
Yes, they
right?
do.
And that's the main problem. We seek conquest. And that's how we fulfill a primal urge, through conquest. But it doesn't mean that urge isn't there. So we use that urge in fucking negative ways. And that's why
Yeah.
there's so many problems in the world.
Yeah.
Think about the animal kingdom.
I'm asleep. Good night. Good night,
Have
Doug.
a good night, Doug.
Sleep well, man. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. Sleep well.
So we see conquest. Even you can see it in the animal kingdom too. Like it's natural to want to conquer.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But the problem is, as time goes on and we become more civil, because we're not animals, we try to go ahead and
Tried to give you a heart attack but failed, so now I sleep. Okay. Well, I'm glad I'm not dead. So there's that. But yeah, get some rest, man. Sleep well.
yeah, dog, take it easy.
And thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you.
But
But yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's perfectly natural. I mean, humans have a few very natural, like, primal urges. We want to conquer stuff, like you said, but we also want to discover shit. Like, we have a primal, like, desire, a primal, like, need to explore.
right.
And to like learn shit. We want to learn shit. Like it's like a quest for knowledge, basically, which I can certainly appreciate. I love learning new shit.
Yeah, sometimes that quest for knowledge is dangerous.
It is, which is exactly my point that I started with. Is that quest for knowledge can be dangerous because, like I said, I can't even trust humans to drive across town without killing each other. How am I going to trust that humans are not going to fuck up the genome if they start playing with it?
I mean, when I'm thinking about like, discovery, I'm thinking about like people, like some of these serial killers. They were killing people and like dissecting them so they could figure out like how the body worked.
That's
Not
true.
so much because they had a primal urge to fucking just kill.
That's
It was
true.
Like, they were super curious, and their way of being curious and figuring it out was to murder fucking Susie down the street.
My prime example of that exact scenario, because it's the most extreme example of that scenario, is literally the Holocaust. It propelled medical sciences far into the future with all the experiments that the Nazis did on the prisoners in those internment camps. Right. Do I condone the methods that were used? Fuck no. But if the Holocaust had not happened in the way that it did, we might not have gained that knowledge as quickly, and might still be dying to a bunch of shit that we shouldn't be dying to. We wouldn't have actually a fairly significant number of the vaccines that we have that save people's lives.
It's funny that you say that because so I'm a huge history buff, and I was just talking about the Holocaust and Hitler and how like his tactics around the time, and a lot of historians like even agree because somebody else that is really into history was like, hey, you know, that theory that you just said, like that is a very new theory that people have been going, you know, towards. So Hitler was just creating panic so that shit could happen. That's what they believe that was going on.
Well, I don't
So
know
they was
about
creating
that.
panic.
But...
So, well, okay.
I don't.
So
I'm just saying I don't know if I believe that.
his main thing was we're gonna use this. We're gonna use this. You know, this Aryan race. You know, we're gonna make everybody pure. Blah blah blah. As this main idea to get people to join their cause, right? So they got people to join their cause, but what he really needed to do was create havoc. So hey, while somebody's watching the main hand, the hand hiding behind the shadows is able to do shady things, and that's like an accepted like theory of what was going on. Because like, why would like at the point that he killed himself, like it just didn't make sense. Like, yeah, his wife went ahead and offed herself, but it still didn't make sense that he was like, okay, well, you know, my wife is gone, let me go ahead and kill myself as well. Like, it just didn't make sense. Like, Hitler wasn't really, and mind it, I'm not going. Don't take it like I'm defending Hitler, please. I'm just
right, yeah, no,
like,
I understand
as a theory.
that.
I just want to throw
No,
that
I
out
understand.
there.
I understand.
But there's this theory out there that it was like, hey, watch this hand and don't pay attention to the other, and that there was something else that was far more nefarious going on. I mean, we'll never know because I mean, only the people that were part of those deeds kind of know what's going on. But,
yeah, they're all dead now.
You know, it's
so
fucking scary. Like, you know, what else could have happened back then? You know, like
I mean, a lot of shit could have.
Right.
Literally, an infinite number of things could have happened.
Right.
I have no idea, and that's something I wonder all the time. Is like, what's going on with? Damn, first time here, and the first thing I hear is the word Hitler. What a day! Yeah, I mean, Hitler is a topic that comes up in my streams a lot. I would like to preface by saying I am a Jewish man, okay? Ethnically, not religiously. We don't condone Hitler around here, but World War II is my favorite era of history, and it just intrigues me. We talk about a lot of really strange shit here at Juicy J Confirmed. we talk all about a lot of shit. Trex, who I believe might have fallen asleep, and I have routinely talked about serial killers. So we talk about a lot of crazy shit around here. But yeah, it's something I think about all the time. Is like, what's going on that nobody is paying attention to? Like, what's going on that people are being distracted from by this, that, and the other thing? Hitler cares for the health of his people? I mean,
no, Hitler,
at the beginning, he literally fixed Germany. Like, he brought them out of their recession. He put a lot of money into the school system. He fixed look, at the beginning, he did a lot of good for the nation of Germany. Then he decided that all the Jews needed to die.
I just you know, people will voice clip some of your stuff and be like, yeah,
oh, I know.
This guy said that Hitler was a good person when he's not.
I know. They're not going to clip the part where I said, I don't condone it, or that I'm Jewish. They're not going to condone any of that, or they're not going to clip any of that. They're just going to take a little out of context thing where he's like, Hitler did a lot of good things. No. He did a lot of bad things too. He did good for Germany until he decided, maybe I'll just invade Poland. I don't know.
Right.
He went off his rocker at some point. But before that, he was just he did manage to get a lot of good things done for the nation of Germany. But he did smoke others, so it might for that anti-smoking campaign. But he did smoke others, so it may not have been that best. Yeah, well, what is the delay of the stream? Not very long. I was just ranting, and the way that my brain functions, I literally need to get the thought out before I can think about literally anything else. So I'm sorry if sometimes I don't read chats very quickly. I gotta get the thought out. Because if I don't, I'll forget it, because my fucking short-term memory is absolute dog shit. So I will forget if I try to wait like 30 seconds. No, because when I type, it has a long delay until I see it on the stream. Oh, shit. How long?
It came up right away from me. Like, I'm watching your stream as we're talking, so...
Yeah. I mean, it might just... Are you watching on mobile? Because I know the mobile tends to have more issues. But I just refreshed the stream, so it's good. Okay, cool. What were we talking about? I mean, it was obviously Hitler.
Right.
This whole conversation started with cloning. How did we end up at Hitler?
It started because I was saying something about the serial killers being curious.
Oh yeah, and then I was talking about that the Holocaust propelled medical sciences like probably like 150 years into the future. Yeah.
No, and I understand that.
I don't condone the methods. All right, again, just for the record, I do not condone the methods. I can appreciate the results, though.
Right, but like I think the thing with cloning, right, and how they're trying to, and obviously going way back in the conversation, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because things are bad doesn't mean the outcomes are right. That's what I was saying.
Exactly.
Before.
Yep.
But the whole cloning thing and trying to birth new life in a different way, removing diseases like hereditary diseases, increasing intellect.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I can understand those sorts of things, but it's just my lack of trust in humanity. Because I just look around at everything else humans have tried to do, and we've managed to fuck up literally everything. We'd fuck up breathing if our bodies didn't do it naturally. And even that we're fucking up because asthma exists. So...
Right.
So I just struggle to trust people to not fuck things up. So it's not that I don't think that it's a noble pursuit, because I do think that it's a noble pursuit, trying to extend our lifespan, increase average intelligence, maybe like reaction times, stuff like that, lessen the amount of food that we need in order to survive so that we don't have to worry about a food shortage, that sort of stuff. That stuff, it's a very noble pursuit. I just don't trust humans to not fuck it up and instead just destroy our genome, and drive ourselves into extinction.
Our friend says similarly to Nobel's dynamite, it's a good concept but bad outcome.
I mean, dynamite has been used in a lot of constructive ways, which sounds insane because it's dynamite, but we've used it a lot for mining, which has been incredibly helpful over the amount of time it's existed. I can't remember when dynamite was actually invented. With that concept, we've created other explosives, which we now use to demolish buildings in a way that isn't going to destroy the buildings around it. So a lot of good actually has come from the invention of dynamite. But I do believe, honestly, that Nobel just started the Nobel Prize thing so that he wouldn't be remembered as the guy who invented dynamite.
Right.
So,
Haber's ammonia production. Haber is not a very chill dude, but he revolutionized fertilizer production.
he did indeed. And that's another thing that I've been incredibly upset. This is a whole nother can of worms. All right, the removal of statues and whatnot of historic figures simply because they were bad people. We have reached a point that, for whatever reason, we moreover value a person's moral stance than what they can actually accomplish. Sure, a lot of, like, the Founding Fathers, for instance, were not good people. No, of course not. But that doesn't diminish what they've done.
Yo, I agree with Somer. Somer
I
Joel?
fully agree.
That's a huge thing. Especially because people today only see the bad. Like,
exactly.
You can do so much good, but as soon as you do one bad thing, all that good is taken away.
Exactly. It's like, oh, this person, like, because the big thing with the Founding Fathers is, like, they literally built this country, created an entire democracy, an entire economy. They literally built an entire nation. But people don't want to teach about them anymore because they were racist. Like, yeah, they were not great people, but you also have to account for the time that they were born and lived in. It was a much, much different world. Am I saying that it's okay for people to be racist? Fuck no. But it was a completely different world. They didn't know any better, and it shouldn't diminish the good things that they did accomplish just because they weren't necessarily a good person. Like, it doesn't take away, or it shouldn't take away, the good things they actually managed to accomplish, regardless of being a shitty fucking person.
I mean, it really. I think at that point, it really depends on what their travesty is, right? Like, if they fucking annihilated a whole civilization, I think, no matter how much good they could have done in their lifetime, annihilating that civilization is kind of fucking shitty. Like,
I mean, we still talk about Genghis Khan, do we not?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, he lived in war times, and it wasn't like, okay, well, let me shut up because I'm gonna fucking I know the history there, and I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth where I was going. So, yeah.
I mean, I understand it was completely different. It was completely different, but yes, he did a lot of fucked up shit, like a lot of fucked up shit. Genghis Khan is objectively bad, but he shaped empires that succeeded him. That's true, but all of those empires have fallen. So there's that. Napoleon was bad, but he shaped the tactics of his defeated enemies, turned allies, turned enemies. Like, I mean, yeah, that's my whole point, though, is like, sure, you could be a shitty person, but that doesn't mean that you can't contribute good things to the world as well, and still have those good things taught. Like, obviously, you don't just put these people on pedestals, you tell the whole story, and be like, okay, we're not putting this person on a pedestal, but this person did accomplish this thing that's of note, but they also did these other things. Like, tell the whole story. Don't just be like, oh, well, they were purely bad, and for that they were bad, so we need to completely ignore all of the good things they did. But also don't just talk about the good things they did. Also talk about who they were as a person, and that they were not a person to model your life after. Right. Like, it shouldn't take away from the good things that people... Well, it shouldn't get rid of the good things that the people did. Those things should still be able to persist, but just still know, maybe don't model your personality after this individual. Maybe what we should learn from this, let's look at the good and the bad. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. There are two sides to everything. Humans are incredibly complex creatures. We're not one-dimensional beings that are just pure good or pure evil. Like, we're incredibly complex. Like, one moment, a person could invent the cure to fucking cancer and then turn around and murder 15 people. Like, under the right circumstances, any person can do anything, whether it be good or bad.
So when it comes to the serial killer thing, you don't think in the early days there weren't serial killer doctors? There were absolutely.
Oh, of course, there are still serial killer doctors.
Right.
But you're talking about the ones who are doing it for knowledge.
Right. There's
Yes.
these doctors that are out there that aren't specifically killing just to kill, but they're killing so they can have like someone to go ahead and experiment on. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, they're trying to make
Yes.
medical differences, but they're still doing a crime. They're still
Yes.
killing people. It's still wrong.
It is. It's still wrong. But if they learn something valuable, we should still use that knowledge.
Right. But they still going to jail.
Oh, of course. Of course they're going to jail. You don't get a get out of jail free card if you murder 15 people, but learn something incredibly valuable about the human body. That's not going to get you out of jail. You're still going to fucking prison. But thank you for the knowledge of this thing that we've learned now.
Even in the early days of the stem cell research, when that shit was illegal, like there were still those doctors and scientists that were like doing that stem cell shit that went to jail.
Yes, there was. Quite a few, actually, if I remember correctly. It was a long time ago, so I don't fully remember, but I feel like there were quite a few that ended up going to jail. Because there was a lot of unethical shit going on. Yeah, it was humans, but that just goes back to.
I remember I watched a skit where a doctor was revealed. Oh, something happened. My screen. I was reading my screen.
Oh, they sent another chat. Yeah, I was watching this skit where this doctor revealed that some other doctor discovered the cure for child cancer, but he's a pedophile. So she put the audience to a vote whether to save more children from cancer or save a few children from abuse. It's a skit and it's morbidly hilarious, but it does make you wonder sometimes.
I mean, that shit happens.
It does. The question that anybody
exactly
really
like
the question, well, I mean it. I think the main point here is how far are we willing to go to do something good? Are we willing to put up with something terrible happening for essentially what ends up being the greater good? Like, the concept of that skit is like, okay, so right now, yes, a few dozen children maybe will be abused, but this person is going to cure children's cancer and save countless lives in the future. So is the short-term immoral thing worth the long-term spectacular thing that will come from it?
And I just want to clarify.
It's a moral question.
So he's saying the short-term immoral thing, and the span of like a human life, short-term, long-term being like the actual cure to cancer.
Yes. When I
just
talk
to
short-term,
clarify that,
yes,
I do.
yes. When I say short-term, I mean the lifespan of those individuals in that moment. When I say long-term,
Right.
I mean literally for the rest of humanity's existence.
Right.
After that, I'm as a person who was abused in that fashion as a child, I in no way condone that, but it's the moral dilemma of literally the Holocaust situation that we've now looped back to. This horrible travesty happened. Many people lost their lives, but as a result of the knowledge gained from that, countless lives have been saved.
Right. It's just a really hard pill to swallow.
It really is. And it's, again, I don't condone the methods, but I can still appreciate the result.
Right.
Like, I mean, there was the possibility my entire genealogy was going to end, and I never would have been born. But,
Right.
but I have always been the kind of person who's like, fuck it. If my death saves other people's lives, then so be it. Like, I've never given a shit. Like I said, I thought I was going to die before I was 20. So the fact that I've lived to 30 now is already insane to me. So I'm willing to sacrifice my life to save other people. I don't have an issue with that at all.
I find that for me. Oh, he's asking if he can send the link. I find it to
Yes,
be,
you can send the skit.
I find it to be hard for me specifically to go ahead and try to, play on like, oh, I want to save as many people as possible. I just see like what we did during the pandemic as a group of people, and how many of us, decided to, I mean, again, I don't, everybody to each their own, they all decide their own fate, but like,
Correct.
when you had people like, my mom's immunocompromised, right? So I take care of her. So because of other people, doing, this whole, I'm going to go on an adventure thing, like I had to go ahead and jump through hoops to keep my mom safe, you know? That was a nightmare. Like I literally, like, I had to, like, luckily I knew about like so to give you a little background, I used to work for a military contractor back in 2019. Um when the Chinese doctor that went into the hospital through WeChat said there's something coming, and he did that in July. He was taken from the hospital room and killed. Because nobody knows what happened. He was killed. There's no fucking doubt about it in my mind what had happened to the dude. He was killed. So he was warning through WeChat how like there's a virus coming, and people didn't take it like super serious until like November rolled around. November rolled around, and the U.S. didn't fucking release anything to the news, which was fucking nuts. And me and another dude that we were working with, it was still kind of like nobody like on at least in my sector knew what was going on. It was just
Right.
like this guy like did this thing, and people were fucking mobilizing. And at this point, like my sector, like we were like medical military contract.
Okay.
Shit. So you would think my sector would have found out super early. No. We found out right as they, like 2 weeks before they were like, yo, we're shutting shit down. So like
Jesus fuck.
March 20th, they were like, of 2020, they were like, yo, we're shutting shit down. And I found out 2 weeks before that. So like I had already ordered like because my mom was still in and out of the hospital because of her like immuno state, and I
Right.
had bought like a fucking suit to fucking go in her house and bring her groceries and shit, and have like this like ultraviolet light like scan through her stuff, and burn all the nasty
Right.
bacteria and shit.
Yep.
So I had already like gotten like gloves and shit, and just little stuff. Nothing crazy. Nothing like I was preparing for the end of the world. Like 3 boxes of gloves, the suit, and like 2 bottles of sanitizer. And I'm talking about like 2 small bottles, because I didn't think this thing was gonna be any worse than H1N1, right? That shit
Right.
that shit blew over and it was good. When it turned into a full blown like like two weeks later, it hit the 20th, and it was like, bro, we're locking shit down. That's when I was like, oh shit, this is serious. And then motherfuckers, there was no toilet paper to be seen. It was crazy.
Oh, I know. God damn. Fucking toilet paper was a hot commodity.
You would think that people were actually shitting their brains out.
Yeah, I
All the
mean,
toilet paper was just gone.
it was crazy.
Maybe you should invest in a bidet. I do have a bidet. I do have a bidet. That's one of the first things I invested in right
I
away.
would like a bidet, actually.
My fucking kids were not having that shit though.
Oh, I bet.
My kids, my kids. When I was like, all right, I was like, yo, then when you start fucking having to wipe your ass with your hands, I don't want to hear shit.
Oh, you won't hear shit. You'll smell it. That's the problem.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, no, I was living out in Washington State when the pandemic hit. And I lived in a little tiny town that was only about, I think it was like 15 miles away from the first town on the West Coast to get fucking quarantined. Like the whole town was quarantined. Nobody was allowed to enter or leave the town.
Oh shit.
And there was this huge fucking, like, it caused mass hysteria in the region. 'Cause they were like, this is a throughway. Like, we can't get to the other side without going through this town. Like, how are we supposed to get there? They literally had to build a road around the town so that people could get to the other side.
I believe it.
2020 is
believe it.
very vivid to me because a lot of strange things, or a lot of things happened. On the end of January 2020, a volcano near my home released so much ash that blanketed everything. Power had to be
Holy
cut
shit.
and not fry the electronics. Bro,
You in Hawaii?
that's insane, bro. They had to clear the ash before restarting the power. God, I mean, I grew up relatively close to an active volcano, but I wasn't living in the area when Mount St. Helens started rebuilding itself. I was living in Minnesota when that started. My mom got scared when it started rebuilding itself, because she was alive when it erupted the last time. So she was terrified. She was like, "Oh God, here it goes again."
Jesus Christ. That shit is scary. If when you thought you were safe.
And
And
it
it
rains,
rained
so
the rest
there's
of the ash garden.
oh.
Where are you from? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, from the Philippines. Yo, that shit has to be crazy. I didn't realize I don't know much about the Philippines. So I didn't realize there were like a ton of volcanoes out there. I was thinking that
I mean, it is a nation
more
of islands.
right.
This fucking mosquito is dead, maybe? Question mark. It was in my hands when I opened my hands, but then it dropped and now I don't see it.
Jesus, that's
I
crazy.
think it's dead.
I think the closest thing we've
Few-
had
few
lately
weeks
to,
ago,
to
it was
anything like
gasoline.
that
Oh
is
my
like
God.
we had what was it? Canada was on fire for like
Yes. Yes, it was.
I mean, I have no idea if it even still is on fire. I feel like I never heard them like
I mean, there were a
ever announce,
lot
like, the fire was
of
done.
disasters that happened in 2020. Like, a whole lot of disasters that happened in 2020. The fucking actual plague came back. Like, there were people dying of the Black Plague.
Oh, did you hear that one fucking I know they didn't release a lot of news coverage, but some fucking place in the U.S. I think it was North Carolina. Don't quote me because I don't remember because it was like months ago at the beginning of the year. They had lost a vial of fucking smallpox. Or
Oh
like a
my
crate of
god.
smallpox, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what?
Oh no.
How do you lose a crate of smallpox?"
Why did you have a crate of smallpox?
It was in one of the CDC centers.
Oh my god.
It's to make sure they can go ahead and continue to
Yeah,
make vaccines.
yeah, synthesize vaccines. No, I understand that. Okay, if it was from, how does a box of smallpox or crate of smallpox go missing from the CDC?
Yo, I have no idea. All I knew is that people were freaking out.
Oh, my motherfucker! See, you can't trust humans with anything. Literally anything.
I mean, it had to be something malicious, right?
I mean,
That's the
half
only
the
thing
time,
that comes to
half
mind.
the time when I order food at a fucking fast food restaurant, I get the wrong fucking food. It's not made properly. I can't even trust them to make my food properly. How are you gonna trust people with smallpox in the human genome? I don't. I don't trust people.
I never recognized it because my immunity late eyes. Oh, my eyes getting crazy. It's
In fact, about the
Sorry, I'm just reading
we
his
even had a
stuff.
departmental meeting during one of the foggy times where we planned on who to send to work to recover, whatever that means.
Jesus Christ, that sounds
Jesus.
crazy.
God damn, dude. It's fucking insane. Being a human is insane. Living on this planet is insane. Existing is literally insane. Of course. Of course you can. I mean, you literally have to be insane to survive in this fucking world. Like, there's no such thing as a truly sane person. It doesn't exist. It's not real. It's not real.
Oh man,
Jesus.
that is hazy as crap.
Yes, it is. It's super hazy. Good lord, dude. Oh shit, I forgot I had my YouTube channel open in the background. Whoops.
It's all good, dog.
I was looking through old videos. I was bitching because, like, the video that I put out that I'm most proud of, the actual editing of, only has fucking 17 views and got blocked in like 97% of the world. It's really upsetting to me.
God damn, that sucks, dude.
It's a few years ago that I uploaded that video. And then I haven't put that much effort into a video since then because it upset me that badly. Yeah,
mean,
so
a
that
lot of
was
the
worrying,
things,
but it
like-
subsided. Well, I'm glad it subsided. Jesus. But yeah, I don't know. I just take forever to edit shit. It was a 7-hour-long gaming session that I whittled down into a 48-minute video.
I mean, now you can use the AI to do it. So
Fuck
you
that!
might-
No, that doesn't.
Okay.
That doesn't
I mean,
feel
I'm just throwing it
rewarding.
out there, bro.
That just doesn't feel rewarding to me. If
Don't
I'm
shit
going,
the messenger.
if I'm gonna do it, I want it to be like, I want to actually be able to feel good about it. I don't feel good about it if an AI does it for me. Like, I love to write. It's actually what I do the most. I do a lot of writing. I could never have an AI write for me. Never. No, fuck that. I'm gonna write my own fucking book. Fuck you. I want to build this world. I want to feel, be able to feel like a sense of, like, I want to feel accomplished when it's done. I'm not going to feel accomplished if I just print out something a fucking computer wrote for me.
I mean, you might be one of the only ones that feel that way. A lot of people think otherwise.
No, fuck that. I see the value in working for it. Like, I want to actually build the world and get attached to these characters I'm making, and I want to feel that sense of accomplishment. I don't
Right.
get that sense of accomplishment if something generates it for me.
I get it, but as we spoke about before, like there's a lot of people that are okay just taking the easy way out.
Oh, yes. No, I know that. I'm not one of those people. I am not one of those people. I have done a lot of unnecessary work just to get to a spot that I actually want to be. Like, excuse me. I
It's
want to work
it
for it.
has.
I don't want to just get handed shit.
Wait, let me
What's
focus.
a caldera?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna look that word up. Sorry, so Spanish is my first language, so
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I know I speak English very fluently. It's just like sometimes I'm like, what are some of these words? A caldera is a large cauldron-like hollow that forms shortly after emptying of magma in a chamber in a volcanic eruption. Oh, okay. So it erupted and then it let go of all of that ash? Is that what I'm understanding? I don't know much about volcanoes either.
So you said it's a what? It's the cavern? Oh, the volcano collapsed into itself. So it's essentially what happened to Mount St. Helens back in like 1980. Where the volcano erupted and then like collapsed in on itself. And then in like the early 2000s, St. Helens started rebuilding itself.
Some nasty stuff.
By emptying the magma chamber beneath itself, it cannot hold itself upright, so it got crushed. Yeah. Because it just had this big empty chamber underneath it, and it wasn't able to support that. So it just kind of collapsed in on itself. Yeah. But yeah, that sounds a lot like what happened with St. Helens. Except St. Helens didn't really so much collapse as it just erupted. Funny that there are at least 3 calderas around my location right now, and 2 of them are active. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was born and raised in Washington State, which there are like a dozen or so active volcanoes in Washington State. I believe there's a dozen or so. There's at least 2. And at least 2 or 3 more in Oregon.
Yo, I'm so glad I grew up on an island where I didn't have any volcanoes.
Yeah.
Like,
I
shit is
grew up
terrifying.
right between the ocean and an active volcano.
that's that's insane to me.
So I was under
completely
threat from an active volcano and a tsunami and earthquakes. But because of the relationship between, because of the way that the air moves in that area between the mountains and the ocean, tornadoes aren't possible. Because it literally can't even form. Because of the air movement. So tornadoes were the only thing I did not need to worry about. But then I moved to Minnesota, where I no longer needed to worry about tsunamis or active volcanoes or earthquakes, but definitely had to worry about tornadoes. I lived in Pequot Lakes, Minnesota, and there was a little town, or a larger town, called Wadena, relatively nearby. And I literally sat on my porch and watched a tornado rip Wadena out of the ground.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, well, I watched the tornado form, and then I went into my basement so that I wouldn't die. There are around 3 to 5 active volcanoes near my location, but the rest of them are not explosive. They just produce
I
hot
feel so
springs.
bad. Sakura has spoken in like at least an hour. Sakura, you there?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Trex fell asleep, and he's the host of the game, so I don't know what's gonna happen when I gotta go to sleep.
Everybody dies.
Our entire
your
colony
slaves
is going
die.
to collapse. I'm probably just gonna have to save it myself and then use that save the next time we play.
Are you able to do that in your game?
What?
I thought Prex is talking about Hitler. Nah. Nah.
He was talking about Hitler.
Was Trex here?
Yeah. Is he not in the Discord?
No, he left the Discord a
Oh,
while
what the
ago.
fuck? Did he say he was gonna leave the Discord? Oh,
No.
he's down in the timeout corner because he's been AFK for so long.
Right.
Yeah, he definitely fell asleep.
He's been there for a while too.
I mean, he medicated himself again, so I didn't realize this was third person. There's actually four. There were 4 people in the chat, or in the voice channel, including myself, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, he was originally talking about Hitler, but I think he fell asleep during the initial parts of the conversation after you joined.
Because I wanted to defend myself.
I think
Right.
because he laughed when you hopped in here and started saying that. But then you and I talked for a long time and he didn't. I think he was listening and then fell asleep because he was just listening. So he fell asleep.
I don't think I gave him much like chance to jump
Yeah, no,
into the
there wasn't
conversation.
much wiggle room for him to be able to participate in the conversation, unfortunately. It's also honestly possible that Gucci fell asleep too. That's possible.
It's late for her, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's morning. She's 7 hours ahead of me, and it's going on 11 here, so it's like 6, 7, or like 5, 6 in the morning for her. But yeah,
Yo,
Huh.
I'm glad you're back though. I was getting worried. I know you're going through stuff, which is why I didn't want to bother you.
yeah, and I gotta like try to make money too, but I'm definitely going to be streaming every Saturday, and I'll try to find days through the rest of the week where I can stream, but I got a DoorDash to make money, so I can pay my rent. Until I can get actually get hired at a normal job where I can have a schedule, which would obviously mean days off. But I gotta dash tomorrow because I've discovered that Sundays are actually a very good day for that.
Yes, it is. Sunday drivers are nuts.
But I might take Monday and or Tuesday off. So I might get a stream in on Monday or Tuesday. I'm gonna try. I want to stream more I want to at least be more consistent. So even if that means that it's just Saturday for a while, at least then it's consistent. But I would like to do more than that because I enjoy streaming. I enjoy having these conversations. I like just playing a fucking game and chatting. It's a good time for me. It's literally the reason I do it. It's because
It
I
is hard for
enjoy
me
it.
to like engage during streams because obviously I don't want to like take away from the content you're creating.
Right.
I like to just try to keep with text as much as possible.
But I mean, like, that's part of the reason that I sit in the general chat, in my Discord. Is like, I want people to come in here and talk and engage. I want to have conversations. Even if the chat isn't constantly moving, like, it's fine. It's not the reason I do it. I'm also severely dyslexic, so it actually helps
me
me.
too.
It helps me a lot to have people in the voice chat, so that I don't have to read as much. So, like, if people hop in the voice chat but keep the stream up so they're at least still a viewer, like, that's perfect for me.
Right.
As long as none of the people are saying anything that can get me banned, like, then it's perfect for me. I can join a voice chat. If you join if you join the community Discord server, you can just hop into the general chat. I sit in the general chat the entirety of every one of my streams. I've done it for years now. It's just what I do. I chill in the voice chat, and I talk to people. I enjoy it because it allows me to have conversations like this. Right now, this specific game, the host is asleep. So, I don't know about that, but I'm okay with people joining games when, you know, I'm streaming. If I'm playing a multiplayer game, I'm more than happy to have people join. Like I said, right now the host has passed out, but I believe so. I don't remember what it was, but because
I think Gucci said something about 2015.
I like to build, like, I want to actually, I don't want this whole thing to just be like, people come here and they watch me play a game and ramble about nonsense. This is very much a community driven stream. Like, it's like, I want to do more things with the community. I want to play games with you guys and chill and chat and just, you know, shoot the shit. The stream is basically just a mode through which to do it. It's the conduit.
Right. I mean, so Summer, when I get on Saturdays, I think the last Saturday we got together, we were up to like 3 a.m. Right now it's 11:49 p.m. for us. I don't know if Juicy's going to be streaming that long, but it really depends on what Juicy's schedule's like.
I mean, I am currently scheduled to start dashing at 12:30 tomorrow. So, technically, I can stay on for a couple more hours.
I'm not gonna hold you to that.
I
know, like,
I had planned on streaming till 10, but right around 10 is when the stream actually, like, picked up and people started joining. I've been streaming for 14 hours, just for the record.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I've been streaming for 14 hours.
If I didn't get the notification until super late.
Yeah, no. I started streaming about 20 minutes after I woke up. That was the whole plan for the entire week. The plan was on Saturday, I'm going to start streaming after I wake up, and I'm not going to end stream until I'm about ready to go to bed. So that's the way Saturdays are going to function from now on.
Wow, I feel so bad now.
I'm going to start streaming early in the day and not stop till I go to bed. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. It's just that that's the new plan. Start streaming early on Saturdays. Because I started streaming 14 hours ago. So let's see, it's going on 11 o'clock. So I started streaming at what, like 9 a.m.? Something like that. So, yeah, I've been going a while. So you start streaming when I sleep, and you end at around noon my time. Yeah, time zones fucking suck. I used to do the opposite, where I started streaming super late at night and kept streaming until like the middle of the day, basically, for me. So I would start streaming at like 7, 8 p.m. my time and end stream around like 6, 7 a.m. I've literally flipped. As it happens, my time is also 11:51, but a.m. Yeah. So you're exactly 12 hours. Holy shit. Okay. That's insane. It's time zones, man. Time is insane, isn't it? It's a crazy thing, time.
I don't know. I had a significant other in Australia for some time, so
I mean,
don't.
yeah.
Time zone's not really weird for me.
I've never had I've never dated somebody in Australia, but I've dated multiple English gals.
I mean, it's a good time, man. I went to visit her a few times. It was a pretty penny, but I mean, didn't work out.
Yeah, rarely, long distance rarely ever does. Unfortunately.
I mean, me and her are still talking.
But also, I'm in the future, so it's already Sunday where I am.
Right. Well, 7 minutes. Oh no, 7 minutes will be in Sunday. So yeah. You're right.
Yeah, do I still communicate with any of my British exes? No, not really. One of them, once a year, we have a singular conversation, and that's it.
That's kind of crazy, you know?
And that singular conversation this year was last month.
Jeez. You guys got a lot to talk about, or like you guys are extra busy?
We have one conversation a year. I don't know. I mean, it didn't really end very well. But like, I try to at least have a conversation, but she rarely responds. So I just stopped trying, basically.
Yeah, dude, that's how it has to be.
So at this point, I just wait for her to message me. She does it once a year. She sends me a message. Hey, how you doing? And then we have a singular conversation.
Discord interaction I have with non-Filipinos is when I talk to the Singaporean people recording work stuff with her on the same timeline as I am. Yeah, I get it. I have to deal with like a lot of people from like France and stuff when I'm working. So it's just tough because like they want me like they send me emails, right? And I'll get in at like 9.
Right.
And I'm gonna move my work schedule back to 8 a.m. instead. But yeah, I get in at 9. They're like, I sent you an email so long ago. You're just getting back to me. I'm like, dude, I just logged into work, man. Like,
I don't know what you want from me.
Exactly. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, what the fuck was I gonna say? I already forgot.
That's short-term memory, bro.
Dude, my short-term memory is garbage. It's so bad. Yeah, literally, like, something can be in my... Like, I can hear something right now. I'll forget it in about 5 minutes.
Sure, it's not just a defense mechanism thing you got going on.
But then I'll remember it a week later, and then it's stuck in my head for the rest of my life.
Nice going, dog.
It didn't used to be that bad. I actually, as a child, had total recall. But then, as a coping mechanism, I started using drugs and drinking and fucked my memory up. And I obviously it never recovered, so I did a little too much damage, unfortunately.
No, I get it, dude.
Along with getting hit repeatedly in the head, that tends to do it too. My
trying to
adopted
put your
mother
Discord thing-
slammed my head inside a refrigerator door multiple
God
times.
fucking damn it! What the hell?
Yeah. So that's just a singular thing that I went through as a child.
Holy fucking shit, dude.
What? Press G? What? What about G? Yeah, it's a light. But yeah, so that's just a small example of stuff
Fucking
that
brutal,
I went through
dog.
as a child. Yeah, she one time also threw a still boiling pan of bacon grease directly on me.
Oh, I've been through that. I pissed off my
She-
mom real bad one day.
Threw an entire knife drawer at me.
What the fuck? Wait, you said adopted mother?
Yes, adopted mother.
Yeah, fuck that. That's crazy. That's insane.
And several of those actually managed to hit the mark. So
How do you adopt a kid and then put them in a situation where they have to fear for their lives?
she adopted myself, my two younger brothers, and a set of sisters from a different family. So she adopted 5 of us and abused all of us. The abuse
Fucking
that I went
insane.
through in that adoptive home was far worse than the abuse that I went through with my biological family. Far worse.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And none of the abuse that was done to me growing up was actually done by my biological family. It was by other people who took advantage of my family.
Jesus Christ.
Um,
That's fucking crazy.
But yeah, so but I went back
What are you
into
gonna do
foster
when you
care
gotta
when I was
log out?
14. So that's a good question. I'm presuming I can save the game myself. I can't. Right, because the save is done on logout.
Right.
So a lot of days are gonna pass, is what's gonna happen.
And your people are gonna be dead.
No, I mean, they're producing enough food to keep themselves alive. They're producing enough ammunition that the guards are able to keep everybody alive from the zombies, so it should theoretically be fine.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, yes.
I love your positivity, dude.
I try my best.
There's only 20 people here. It's fine.
30, actually. Are you saying it's okay for 30 people to lose their lives?
Maybe.
It depends on the outcome, I suppose. That goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Right.
10 people you can purchase for free? Whoa. See, now you've looped back to the slave argument. They're not slaves.
They're slaves, bro.
They're
Thank
not
you for
slaves.
proving me, bro.
No,
I really
they're not.
appreciate that,
They're
bro.
not slaves.
I
Oh
really
my God.
appreciate
I gotta
that.
go. All right.
Someone outside of me can tell that they're slaves. You see?
My mom,
They're slaves.
by the way, has finally gotten around to watching The Batman. She's watching it right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love Batman. He's my favorite character of all time. Literally,
Superpowers money, bro.
he doesn't need superpowers. That's what makes him fucking awesome. Is that he's just a dude and still manages to stay relevant in a world where Superman exists. So, and I love that. But she's watching The Batman, the Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson movie that just came out a couple years ago. She went into it thinking that like all the other Batman movies happened in the same universe. And I'm like, no.
Oh.
So she texted me. She was like, I don't know. This movie's confusing me. I don't really like it. I'm like, so I had to explain to her, like, this is Batman in his second year of crime fighting. He's just become Batman. He's still figuring shit out. All of this is in its own universe. The other movies, forget about them. Like, they didn't happen in that universe. This is a whole different dude doing a whole different thing. She was like, okay, I'll have to watch it again another time and see if that changes my opinion. Like, yeah. Because I actually, when they announced that Robert Pattinson, fucking shiny vampire boy, was going to be playing Batman, I was like, this is stupid. Like, this is dumb. There's no way this is gonna be fucking good. And then that movie came out. I went into the theater. I saw it. I was like, this is the best Batman movie. Like, it's the most true to character Batman movie that we've gotten. This is Batman as a fucking detective, and I love it.
I like our friend's response. Oh my god, imagine her when she watched Lego Batman. I can just fucking imagine.
She's going to be so confused when Batman Brave and the Bold comes out. That's not part of that universe, but part of the DCU instead of the Reeves-verse. She's going to be so fucking confused. She's like, but why are there two Batmen? She's going to be so confused. Because she was under the impression that this Batman was in the same universe as all the other Batman movies. That, like, Michael Keaton's Batman existed in this universe. And, like, Christian Bale's Batman also existed in this universe. That this is a shared universe. I'm like, no. Batman. It's its own thing.
How do you feel about when they announced resident psychopath Damian Wayne?
A part of me is really torn on it because I want to see the growth. I want to see Dick Grayson as Robin. I want to see Jason Todd and Tim Drake. I want to see this shit. But at the same time, I like the concept of, well, now we just get the whole Bat family. We can do a fucking Nightwing movie. We can do a Batgirl
You're talking about
movie.
Nightwing, the Red Hood.
Yeah, exactly. We get all these access to all of these characters from the jump, which excites me. But at the same time, when they announced Batman the Brave and the Bold, the art they used was from the Grant Morrison Brave and the Bold run, where Bruce wasn't Batman. Dick Grayson was. So my initial thought when I saw that was, holy shit, we're going to get a Dick Grayson Batman. That's going to be fucking awesome. And then they turn around and they're like, no, Dick Grayson's not going to be Batman. It is going to be Bruce Wayne. I was like, damn it.
Wait, why do you want Dick Grayson to be Batman?
Just because it's different. Because the way that whole thing went was like, I liked the relationship between Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne, and Dick struggling with the fact that he doesn't even want to be Batman, but there needs to be a Batman, and that he needs to try to keep this new Robin in line and teach him what it means to be a Robin. And I liked that dynamic, but they're like, no, that's not going to happen. Bruce Wayne's going to be Batman. Dick Grayson's going to be off doing his own thing. I'm like, okay, fine, fuck it, whatever. But in that whole arc, like, eventually Bruce did come back and retook the mantle of Batman. So I liked the idea that we might start off with Dick Grayson as Batman in this universe where Bruce has already disappeared, and we're just thrown into this universe where like the original Batman's gone and everybody thinks he's dead, and so this person who doesn't actually want to be Batman is struggling with having to be, and having to teach this Robin.
Every time he's disappeared, he's gone to train with the assassins.
Basically, yeah.
Which is why fucking Damian's around to begin with.
Yeah. Well, okay. In the original, actual canon of how Damian Wayne came to exist, Bruce was actually raped by Talia.
I mean, listen,
she drugged him.
Look, bro. Okay. So,
it wasn't about Bruce not being able to keep it in his pants.
So let me get this straight. Millionaire playboy, billionaire. Sorry, billionaire playboy.
Billionaire.
It's just okay. So
she drugged him.
He's raped by Selena. He's raped by Harley Quinn. He's raped by Talia. Like this guy's just getting date raped everywhere. Is that what's going on?
Basically, yeah.
I don't believe that. He put himself in those positions.
Well, I mean, the point there is that he trusted. Like, he trusted somebody that shouldn't have been trusted. In all three of those scenarios, he trusted somebody that shouldn't have been trusted.
I mean, those are just like the main villains that have like taken advantage of him. This is not talking about like the other people, the other slew of fucking characters that have fucking taken advantage of him.
Yeah, I mean, as strange as it might sound to most people, Batman actually tends to be a very trusting individual. Like, he believes in a person's ability to better themselves. He believes that everybody can be redeemed, and he wants these people to redeem themselves. And he believes that these people are redeeming themselves. And he lets his guard down, and then they take advantage of him, because that's what they do. They're fucking criminals.
Right. I mean, he could have killed the Joker in The Killing Joke.
He could have killed the Joker 80 billion times, but he has his one rule. He does not kill. Because if he kills, it makes him no better than them. And it makes him just like the person who took his parents away from him. Which is why he started being Batman in the first place, was to avenge that.
Oh man, did you see when
and to make sure nobody else has to. Oh yeah, in the Flashpoint timeline.
Yeah,
where his dad becomes Batman and his mom becomes the Joker. Yeah.
Oh my God, fucking
see,
nuts.
okay, this is the missed opportunity that the DCEU went with. All right, in the movies, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was Thomas Wayne. We could have had a Jeffrey Dean Morgan Thomas Wayne Batman in a Flashpoint movie.
Amen.
But no! They had to fuck it up and completely change everything. And I'm not upset because we got Michael Keaton at least back, which is nice. I liked that. But I really wanted a Jeffrey Dean Morgan Thomas Wayne Batman. I really wanted that.
Is it me, or has every fucking comic book that, except for the very, very old Batman with the funny, like, ringy phone, he's found the Batcave with gadgets in it every time. So fucking Thomas Wayne was already a vigilante, bro.
Yeah, he was Batman. He was already Batman. Yeah.
So,
I mean, the same amount of time had passed since the death in the alley, so it makes sense that Thomas would have had time to do that, because it still happened that many years ago. But at least in the original canon, according to the DCU movie, bowl of spaghetti, which I actually thought was a pretty cool analogy, but it was weird that it ends up being like a multiverse thing instead of just the timeline, and it adjusts weird things. It's weird. It's interesting. The whole ripple effect, like the ripple in time thing, is interesting. But theoretically, it still would have happened within, a handful of years. So he would have had time to become Batman. But I really wanted a Jeffrey Dean Morgan Thomas Wayne Batman. I really wanted that so bad.
I can tell.
I wanted it so bad. I'm happy with Michael Keaton. We got the original Batman, live action Batman, other than Adam West, but that doesn't really count.
Doesn't it?
Not really.
You didn't like that phone?
I mean, it's a comic book thing. So comic book things should be kind of campy, but I feel like that series was a little too campy. Like, Batman should not be literally dancing, and like doing the fucking boogie when he's supposed to be crime fighting. That should not be happening.
Bro, that was a time when Leave It to Beaver was like one of the top watched like like items.
But even then, the biggest atrocity to ever happen to a Batman film was the George Clooney Batman movie. It's the biggest atrocity. The fucking nipple suit was terrible. The movie was awful. the movie was... It was a god-awful movie. It's a piece of fucking shit movie. I don't necessarily blame the director. I blame the studio. Because Joel Schumacher has talked multiple times about how he wanted to make the movie in a different way than the movie actually ended up being. But the studio made him do this, that, and the other thing. And it ended up becoming what the movie was. Turning it into a hot, steaming pile of dog shit. But it's the biggest atrocity to ever happen to Batman, in my opinion. And we literally talked a couple minutes about how he was raped multiple times. And still, that is the biggest atrocity to ever happen to Batman, is the fucking nipple suit. And it's sad to me because George Clooney, just appearance-wise, perfect. Absolutely perfect appearance-wise. But let's be real, George Clooney is a fucking specimen, all right? Like, the older he gets, the better he looks. I don't know how that happens. He's really got that, like, he's got that silver fox thing on fucking lock. He knows what he's doing over there. But that man hit the fucking genetic lottery, and I'm upset.
Right.
But...
I mean, he was born in a test tube, bro. That's what happened.
Oh my god! Shut the fuck up. It's not born in a fucking test tube. And it upsets me because also fucking Ben Affleck, visually perfect fucking Batman, but that got butchered too.
I think he should have just stayed fucking. He should have stayed someone else. Daredevil.
That movie was garbage too.
Listen, he should just stay Daredevil, bro. Like, you don't have to be Batman, bro.
That movie was a piece of fucking hot garbage.
Wasn't that Andrew Cavill fucking Batman too? At some fucking point, or did he only do Superman?
What? Oh,
the guy who
Henry
plays
Cavill.
Gerald?
Yeah, no,
go,
he was the only superhero he's ever played was Superman. Superman's the only hero he's ever played. As far as I know. Well, let's find out.
I don't know. I know
let's take a look.
He played Gerald and Superman, right?
Yes. Let's take a look at Henry Cavill.
He's a huge nerd, by the way.
Oh, I know. He's working on a Warhammer project.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited.
I'm fucking stoked. I've never been more excited for of any sort of yeah. Anyway, let's see: The Witcher, Enola Holmes 2, Black Adam, Justice League, Enola Holmes, Night Hunter, Mission Impossible, Fallout, Justice League, Sandcastle, Batman v Superman, Man from U.N.C.L.E., Man of Steel, Cola, Immortals. What the fuck is Immortals? That sounds like it could be a superhero thing. Oh no, it's a Greek gods thing.
Cool.
Theseus is a mortal man chosen by Zeus to lead the fight against the ruthless king Hyperion, who is on a rampage across Greece to obtain a weapon that can destroy humanity. That actually sounds kind of neat.
Sounds like I'm gonna watch it.
I was just about to say the same thing. The Tudors, Blood Creek, whatever works, Stardust, Red Riding Hood, Tristan plus Isolde, Hellraiser, Hellworld.
So I play this game while you're streaming, Ragnarok Online, and I usually never die. I've died like 16 times just because we've been. I've literally lost so much experience.
Yeah. So that's Superman's the only superhero he's ever played. It looks like.
Do you consider Geralt of Rivia a superhero?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily consider him a superhero.
He's a
I mean,
demon slaying magician.
he's not
a
going out to
superhero.
be but he's not doing it with the purpose of being a hero. He's just doing his job. Like he's doing what he was genetically altered to do.
I guess.
He's a witcher. That's just unfortunately basically the only thing that they can do, because in the world, for whatever reason, people hate witchers, even though they literally protect them from all the monsters in the world.
Yo, sometimes you just
But if
gotta let them get
anything, like, because he's not really a hero so much because he doesn't always do the thing to save the person. Whereas a superhero will always at least attempt to save the person. But Geralt won't always do it because he takes very hard to a moral stance. And, like, he won't, like, kill humans. He won't, like, take bribes and stuff like that. Like, he won't just do things just for the sake of doing them, basically. He's a witcher. He does it for money.
I get it.
You
More
see anybody
people need to be
tipping
like-
Superman? They should, but
Listen.
they don't.
They should, exactly. I mean, well, that's not true, man. All right, and the Red Superman. Listen, he took everything and the panties. All right,
That's a whole different ball game. All right, Like, wow. Okay. Well. Anyway, no, I don't consider Geralt a superhero. If anything, he might be more of an anti-hero at times.
I guess.
Because he's not really... He just does what's best for him, but also, like, the greater good. Not necessarily like a short-term good, or like,
When I
I'm going
think
to
of
help this
anti-heroes,
person for
I'm
the sake
thinking
of...
like
Yeah.
Punisher, Wolverine,
Yeah.
fucking Deadpool.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't necessarily fit into the anti-hero category necessarily, but he doesn't really fit a superhero category either.
I don't know. He's doing more than fucking. What was that? Doctor Strange? He got more power than Doctor Strange, bro. What do you mean? Doctor Strange is waving his hands around, making fucking lights.
I don't
He
know if I would
basically
say
has
he
fairy
has
fire.
more power than Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange is literally able to manipulate the fucking universe and bend the universe to his will.
Yeah, pretty much does nothing though. Have you seen?
Oh yeah, no, he pretty much
have you
does
read
nothing.
the comic books? Like
He does
has
pretty
all
much
this
do
power.
nothing.
It's like, I'm just gonna sit here.
He does pretty much do nothing. That's true. The one thing that Geralt really has up on him is that whole extended lifespan thing. He's definitely got that going for him. The extended lifespan thing, the near immunity to most poisons. Like, he does got a lot going for him. The problem is that he is a witcher.
Man, listen, he's doing more than Static Shock, all right? That's
the,
what I'm saying.
Look, all right. Don't talk shit about Static Shock, all right?
I'm not talking
Don't
shit.
go
I'm
talking
just
shit about
pointing- I'm
Virgil.
just pointing it
Well,
out. Look, I love Virgil. I'm just putting it out, bro.
don't talk shit about my boy.
Get out.
I love Static Shock.
I do too. It's just funny. Like,
Just for the record, okay. This a little tidbit here. DC does own the rights to Static Shock.
they're not gonna do anything with it, bro.
They've
had
hinted
so
at
many
it.
opportunities.
They've
They've
hinted
had
at
so
it.
many opportunities, bro.
They've
Yo, after
hinted at
that
it.
Black Lightning thing that fucking failed, they're not trying to fucking.
I liked
like,
the first season of that show. I liked the first season.
I don't know. I found it super corny.
I don't know. I mean, I got a thing for people with electric powers, okay? I think it's cool. That's cool. I like it. It's cool. Unfortunately, there's a fucking ton of them. Like, there's so many people out there who have electric powers.
Yeah.
The unfortunate
Cable.
thing is that actually most of them, or the crazy thing, not unfortunate, but the crazy thing about it is that after the success of, I don't remember which one actually came first, but there was this whole string of things when like people were like, okay, we got to make a black superhero, all right? We got a bunch of white dudes running around. We need a black superhero. They made a bunch of them. Most of them don't exist anymore, and basically all of them were black dudes with electric powers.
Look, man, they were all electricians, bro. I don't know.
It was like, why do they all have electric powers? Like,
I don't know, bro.
give them some
Bro,
fucking variety.
He breathed in that gas, bro, and then
No, I'm
the
just
Blue
saying, like, they
Beetle
could
had
have.
found the suit.
I'm just saying, like, at the time, they could have given a variety of powers to these different characters so that they didn't just create 25 Black Lightning clones.
Yo, that's what they wanted, bro. They were like, bro, how can we get a black superhero? They were like, yo, the electric chair. They were like, got it, bro.
Oh my god.
Lightning powers. That's how the fucking talk went.
See,
It's
the
like,
way
yo.
that I feel like it would have made the most sense is like, okay, well, black workers tend to do more like labor jobs. So, what are labor jobs? You got plumber that Mario's already taken.
Okay.
You got like, I don't know, delivery driver. That's not a cool superhero. You
Yeah,
got
make him a mechanic,
you
right?
got like you got.
We already got
like,
Tony Stark.
Like this thing is like, yeah, exactly. They were like, okay, what's the last one we got? Fucking electrician. All right, how can we use that? Oh fuck! Why don't you just have them shoot lightning out of their fingers? That's fucking awesome. Like, that's cool, right? Like, it's fucking awesome. Let's do that. And then they made
were like,
25
forget
of
Thor.
them.
Forget Thor. We already have Thor, but let me fucking make
Look,
25.
Thor's not the god of lightning. He's the god of thunder. Okay.
Oh, whatever. It's the same shit. How many? What does Mjolnir fire? Come on, tell me.
Itself.
No, Mjolnir definitely fucking shoots out fucking lightning, bro.
Yes, it does. But that's beside the point. He's also got other powers, you know, like strength and because of Mjolnir, flight. But, you know.
Did Thor not fly without Mjolnir?
No, he can't fly without Mjolnir. Because
I thought he was given
Mjolnir
flight by
No, it's
Sorry, what?
Mjolnir propelling him.
I thought he was given flight by the Megengard.
No,
Like his belt.
I don't think so.
I didn't know
I
that.
don't think so. I mean, basically every time you see him flying, he's holding Mjolnir out in front of him.
I don't know. The last time I saw fucking Thor, he was fat. Okay. So he ain't doing no flying.
Or Stormbreaker. He doesn't only use Mjolnir. He's got Stormbreaker. But, you know, which also gives him the same powers. But also the power to open the Bifrost. That's the main difference between Stormbreaker and Mjolnir. So it's Stormbreaker, he can open the Bifrost himself.
It's just crazy because he has so many god items. So supposedly he's supposedly had Sleipnir's, right, which was his shoes. Right?
Yes.
His Megengard, which is the belt. Right?
Yes.
Fuck. What is the breastplate called? Brynhild?
Something like
I
that.
think it's Brynhild. He has Brynhild, right? Which all of these fucking items have fucking crazy fucking powers, and he only uses fucking Megengard.
Yeah, basically.
Sorry, Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Mjolnir. Yeah. Basically. Because he grew reliant on Mjolnir.
But why not use the other items? The fucking Sleipnir's gives him super speed, bro. Why not ever use it?
Because then he'd be too OP. He's nerfing himself, okay? God.
He just left his Nikes at home. My bad.
He's like, bro, it wouldn't be a fair fight if I, used all of the power at my disposal, so I'll just use like one of the things, just to make it a relatively verified, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why he doesn't use all that shit, honestly. I have no idea.
This is weird. This is a weird fucking guy.
I don't know. I mean, he just likes Mjolnir, all right? He's just
Maybe he
got a
does.
thing for his hammer, all right? Don't judge.
Well, I'm not really judging.
All right. It's fine. Good. Good.
Being
Don't
weird.
judge. Don't
He's
judge.
being weird.
I mean, just because it's not your standard doesn't necessarily mean that it's weird. I mean, it's just not
Okay.
your standard.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna switch characters, right? So I don't die. I'm in a really mobby area. Let's go ahead and look up the powers of each one of these items, right? Right? And the thing is, these items are spelled so janky. What?
Let's see.
What?
Why don't we just
Here.
type in Thor's powers? And then we go to marvel.com, which will tell us everything we need to know
Marvel.com.
about him. He has a lot of aliases. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, okay. Where does this... Powers. Odin powers. Warrior's madness. Berserker rage. Superhuman strength. Superhuman durability. Superhuman speed. Superhuman reflexes. Control of elements. Hand-to-hand combat and sword fighting.
Right. Strength comes from Magengard. Durability comes from Brynhild. Speed comes from the Sleipnirs. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the combat and all the other shit comes from Mjolnir.
Oh, he can summon more than just lightning with Mjolnir. He can summon rain, wind, lightning, and thunder. Though he has also
What's he gonna
been
do with the
known to
thunder? He's gonna scare
produce...
little kids?
Though he has also been known to produce lightning from his hands. While Mjolnir can manipulate weather patterns, it extends godhood and many other abilities to its commander. When spun, the mallet can allow Thor to fly, hover, or even open portals to other dimensions and realms.
I don't ever see him spinning that hammer to fly.
When
I see him holding it like he's Superman.
You see him in... There's one of the movies, he spins it before he takes off, but not while he's flying. When spun, the mallet can allow Thor... Oh, I already read that. When thrown, it acts as a sort of boomerang, destroying all things or beings in its path before returning to its owner.
Right.
When Thor became unworthy of holding Mjolnir, he used Jarnbjorn, a deadly war axe.
He did it to deflect Soltyr's flame? I'm not familiar.
Yes. Soltyr was like the big flame dude that ended up destroying Asgard in the MCU.
Oh, okay. I still can't get over the whole like Tony Stark being gone because he doesn't want to do any more Iron Man. Fucking hate him. He doesn't like.
Yeah.
Robert Downey doesn't want to.
I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, so I can understand
Wait,
wanting to go off and
finish
do
a
something
few more
else.
movies, man. Like, come on.
Yes, but at the same time, I can understand wanting to go off and do something else. You know, the problem is that everything he's done outside of that since he became Iron Man was all a bunch of dog shit.
Yo, nobody should have told him to fucking play in Tropic Thunder, right?
I mean,
And pretend to be like.
the movie is
something he's-
iconic, though. It's
Is it iconic or was it just
Like-
blackface?
It's an iconic. I mean, the movie itself is iconic. It definitely was blackface, but the movie itself is what's iconic, not the blackface. The movie.
I just want to throw that out.
Should
there.
he have
Make me
done
a
it?
little nervous.
Hell no. And even he admits that by today's standards, no, He shouldn't have done it. But again, at the time, it was a different world. To him, it was just a paycheck. He had a role. So he didn't really think about it. But now, looking back, he has stated, like, if somebody offered that me that now, I would turn it down in a fucking heartbeat. There's no way I'd do it again. It's like, exactly. It's ironically blackface. Well, he did say today's standards. Yes, I mean, the standards do change. Like, standards change all the fucking time. Like,
Yeah, but
at that time, it didn't... It wasn't as... People weren't as vocal about their... about not wanting that sort of stuff to happen. Plus, cancel culture wasn't a thing yet. So, like, now, there are a lot of people that definitely would not do things that they've done in the past because of, well, cancel culture, mostly. That they don't want to get canceled. And they don't want, like, since they've did that thing, have grown as people and realized what they did was wrong and would not do it again. Like, just because they've grown as people as time has passed.
right.
That's not to condone what they did, because it was still dumb. He shouldn't have done that. But like he said, to him, it was just a paycheck. Like, he wasn't thinking about it being... Because he saw it as ironic. So he didn't think he was actually being offensive. He thought that what he was trying to do was actually the opposite, was to show people how ridiculous it is.
Right.
Like, but that he definitely would not do it again. Do you think the American cancel culture is also negatively affecting other cultures? I
Absolutely.
think, yes, of course. I mean, we're canceling each other because of everything. Everything. It's having an impact on virtually everything. Because nobody can
lot of
do
purchasing,
anything
like-
now without intense scrutinization. Like,
Right.
like, I can only say the things I say on stream because I have an average of like 3.5 viewers per stream. So if I had like 300,000 people watching me stream, there's no way I could have had like half of the conversations we've had since you joined the voice channel.
I don't believe that. I believe that we are talking about things in a generalized fashion
That's
where
true.
we can have a debate about things. We're not saying anything that is wrong.
We are specifically stating that we don't condone the bad things.
right, exactly. We're specifically looking at things in an objective manner.
Correct. Yeah. Okay,
Right?
fine, fair
So-
enough. But
so
at the same
it's
time,
different.
there have been people who have been getting upset and trying to cancel comedians over literal jokes. So,
Either everything is funny or nothing's funny. That's the problem.
I mean, I tend to lean towards everything is funny.
Right.
At least to a certain degree. Everything can be amusing. In my Filipino eyes, the delicate sensibilities I have been observing does take away the focus on problems which are more needed. 100% agree. People are focusing way more on, oh, they said something that I don't agree with, versus, oh, that person just murdered 85 fucking people. Like,
Right.
they're not paying attention to the things that they should be paying attention to. They're instead paying attention to arbitrary nonsense that doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like people saying dumb shit. People have said dumb shit for millennia. Literally since we invented language. What was it, like 200,000 years ago or some shit like that? 20,000 years ago? I don't even remember. I think it's 20,000 years ago we invented language. People have been saying dumb shit since the very beginning of language. It's not going to stop. Like, there's dumb, bigoted people out there who are going to say dumb, bigoted shit. That doesn't mean you need to focus on every dumb, bigoted thing that's said, because you're going to be spending your entire life focusing on this nonsense that you can't actually control. Go do something constructive. Instead of getting on everybody about everything. I think the major problem is most people, especially young people these days, were coddled growing up, so they believe that anybody who says anything offensive should be immediately punished. Because they live in like this bubble of no, I'm offended by that. That shouldn't exist. Stop doing that. Like, oh fucking well. Like, sure, if they're doing something harmful, okay, fine. Stand up to it. But if what they've done or said doesn't actually hurt anybody other than themselves, what the fuck ever. Like, if their position is just making life difficult for themselves, you can try to convince them, but don't spend your entire life trying to fucking eviscerate this person online. It's a waste of your time. They're still going to say the stupid, bigoted shit. You're wasting everybody's time by trying to cancel this individual. Should we agree with everything everybody says? Hell no. I don't even agree with half the things that I said 5 years ago. How am I going to agree with everything you say? I'm not.
Right.
That's not possible. We're two completely different people who grew up living two completely lives with two completely different mindsets. We're not going to agree on everything. That doesn't mean I'm going to get upset with you about the things that I don't agree with you with. That's ridiculous.
It's funny.
Okay, this is a weird sound to make for a Filipino tongue. It's one of my favorite sounds, actually. It's interesting to me.
You missed the context.
What the fuck was I saying? Oh shit, hold on. I've been made aware of this thing called Filipinx, to be more inclusive, because apparently the word Filipino is sexist. Is that because of people
like,
associating that as like a masculine word?
Latin and Latinx, I know. Number one, I hate Latin, like the term Latinx as a Hispanic. You know, I don't.
Okay. I think it's ridiculous that people keep creating all these things, citing this, that, and the other thing. But I'm a white dude, so I really don't have a right to speak on it.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
So I'm actually happy I'm actually happy to hear that you guys, as people in those or from those cultures, don't agree with those words. I'm happy that I'm not being an accidental racist somehow. I'm always afraid that I'm going to wake up one day and realize I'm racist. I'm not fucking racist, though. I hate everyone equally. Humans in general suck. So I don't hate groups. I hate individuals. There are individual people from every group that I hate, but I appreciate the group's existence.
It's funny because like our buddy here says, like, you know, it's a least of like a lot of people's priorities, but it's the least intelligent people that are the loudest that make the biggest fucking noise, and that's the problem. Like I'm Hispanic, I'm Dominican, right? Come from an island, you
right.
know. It is what it is. Like, I'm Hispanic. I'm not. I can't be Latino because I'm not. You know, I'm not of Latin origin.
Right.
I'm of Hispanic origin, so I'm a Hispanic. But like Latinx, you know, Latino, like that doesn't mesh with me. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
The difference between Hispanic and Latino. Latinos come from Latin origin, and Hispanics come from like Spanish origins, from España. You know, so that's where those terms come from. But that does not help. It's the region. They're from the regions where you come from.
Yes.
that's all that matters. So, for a Hispanic, like, okay, so let me bring it
It's
back.
like descent directly from Spain, essentially. Like,
Yeah. So what happens is, Dominican is a mix between the Taino people and the Spaniards that came to go ahead and invade. Um, the Taino people generally were around the Caribbean and like the Florida area. So we went back and forth between the the main island. So technically, I'm not like I'm technically a Native American, but not really because
or
I
at
was
least
born in Dominican Republic. It's weird.
part. It's a complicated scenario or situation for sure.
Right. Actually, do you know the most inclusive term to call formerly in Spanish? India. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Well, it should be it should be more indigenous because Indio is a term like they use because they thought they landed in India.
Yeah, they thought they were in India. So it's actually like the indigenous people or like the Native American, like they were here before the colonists. Call it the Indio land.
Let's call it Indio. You made a new term? Is that what I'm seeing?
Let's go ahead and popularize that one.
Holy shit.
Let's go ahead and popularize that one real quick.
Oh, it's gonna go over terrible with this Hispanic community. Let me tell you.
The Index Revolution. Oh fuck me.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I mean, most of
So,
my
let me
family
see if I
comes
can-
from Great Britain, so I can't, like Great Britain and Germany mostly. A little bit of Russian in there somewhere.
Oh, that's not bad.
I do have a little bit of Native American in there somewhere too, and actually a little bit of African in there. My grandmother was like, I mean, if you were to literally break down her genetics, she was probably like a quarter African. But actually, one of the most racist people I've ever met against Africans. So, which blew my mind. She thought she was like, like full on native. Come to find out, she was not.
No, this is crazy. This is so confusing.
Oh,
so I looked up
that's
Latino
the
versus
word.
Hispanic, right?
Yeah, that word. Sure, yes, it's what you're doing there, Sommer, is that word is being blocked by Automod. You know, the one that starts with an N.
Oh.
It's not the full on like hard R. It's like the
Dang.
Spanish word for black, basically.
Oh. Okay.
But it's being flagged by Automod.
Weird.
Um,
Oh, it's probably because your chat isn't primarily like Spanish, so it thinks you're being racist.
yes. But he says, speaking of sensibilities, I do remember this tweet made by some Filipino music group pertaining to them. Oh, God damn it. Pertaining to them looking forward to. I don't understand how this word even fits in this situation. But yeah, well, as it happens, that's actually the name of the island. As in, here goes island. Okay, yeah. So it's the name of an island. Okay.
Yep. So this is crazy. I looked up Latino versus Hispanic, right? Hispanic refers to a person with ancestry from those of a country speaking the language that is Spanish. Latino in its variation referred to a person with origins from anywhere in Latin America, Mexico, South and Central America, and the Caribbean. But the thing is, like, I've never considered myself to be a Latino.
But a significant portion of Latin America speaks Spanish.
Right.
So wouldn't they also be Hispanic, technically? They were literally colonies of Spain.
Right. I mean, I think though the words have evolved so much over. Let's see. The people on Twitter mistook it, and the flame war happened, and I'm laughing instead.
Oh, because of the name of the island. Yeah. Um, I mean, it's also the Spanish word for black.
Right.
So, granted, that's actually not true. But a
Well,
very
it
significant
seems
portion
like,
of the American populace speaks Spanish.
according to my search, Hispanic and Latino are the same thing, which is dumb. Because me as me as a Hispanic, I don't consider myself a Latino because like
I mean, your family doesn't hail from Latin America.
right,
Yeah.
like we don't come from like Mexico and South is kind of like Latin America.
I,
Like
I
I'm from the
guess,
Caribbean.
I guess that's where the distinction really is. Like Hispanic is more of like a lineage, like language of the lineage, whereas like Latino is more of like or like Latin is more of a geography of the lineage.
Right. But the thing is, Latinos, it says it in bold, does not include Spain. It says it in big bold ass letters.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. But then again, Brazil is part of Latin America, but they speak Portuguese. So,
And they're Latinos.
yes, they're Latino. It's confusing, man. I don't know.
Hispanic does include Spain, yes.
Latin only meant American Hispanics, while Hispanic includes Spain. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what I'm gathering here, yeah. Is that Latin basically just means from Central and South America.
I don't know many Puerto Ricans that would consider themselves Latino either. I think a lot of them say they're Hispanic.
Probably, yeah. I mean, that would make sense to me.
And honestly, if it were for me to just use history, like as a guide, I would not want to be called Hispanic.
Correct.
I'd rather to just be called Taino.
Correct. Brazil is a Latin country, but not a Hispanic country.
That's correct.
They are
hilarious.
they are what makes the distinction actually between Latin and Hispanic.
Right. So in the Hispanic side, it says it not include Brazil, French Guiana, Guadeloupe, fuck. There's so many fucking things here. Like Haiti's not Hispanic.
Yeah, a
and
whole lot of like
San Martin
yeah,
and San Martin.
a bunch of islands.
Yeah.
It's mostly islands. Basically, if it's on the continent, it's Latin. If it's not, then it's Hispanic.
That's what it sounds like. But it's funny because
Oh,
like,
Saint Martin. Yeah. That would be the English of that.
like, but it's weird
Yes.
because like things like how like Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Costa Rica, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Ecuador can use both words. I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. It's complicated.
Only to the term Filipino is used to mean Spanish people born in the Philippines. I always thought it was weird when it comes to the Spanish and the Filipinos because Filipinos are generally Asian looking, but I get caught off guard when I speak to some Filipinos that come from the Philippines and they speak straight Spanish. It has caught me off guard so many times, bro. It's insane.
It was a Spanish colony. It makes sense. And some dude used it to name all peoples, not just Spanish-born. And then that's the fuel for the revolution fire. Is it Spanish? Or however you pronounce that word, I don't want to butcher it and offend somebody Spanish.
I'm so Spanish is very weird because it depends on the dialect. So like so the Caribbean Spanish is different from like Spanish in other places. So while it's very similar, it's like speaking. Okay, I don't know how to. I know how to explain it to Juice, but I don't know how to explain it to you, Joel. Juice, it would be the equivalent of people from a white neighborhood going to a ghetto neighborhood and speaking to like you know how the in the ghettos they speak with
Yeah. I mean, it's
I'm
basically
finna do
more of
something.
it's more of they use more slang basically.
Right. It's very
Yeah.
slangy,
Yep.
and like it's basically that. We're like, I think Spanish from Dominican Republic is closer to Spanish in Spain rather than Spanish from Mexico.
Yes,
Because like
they are two
Mexicans
different
use
Spanish. The two
like
different forms of Spanish.
like the Mexicans like to use like vato and like crazy fucking words that don't make sense to me. I mean I know what a vato is, but like to me I'm like, yo, had I not fucking watched like some of these crazy movies, like I wouldn't know what it meant. Like if I went to like if I as just like a Dominican person went to fucking Mexico and they were just fucking screaming vato at me, I wouldn't know what it fucking meant.
Right.
But because of like being here in America, like and having like Mexican friends, like I know what that means.
Right.
And like Mexicans like we say cake as bizcocho, but in Mexico it means like a woman's private part. You know what I'm saying? And they get offended.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's just different. I mean, I took Spanish in high school. And one of the things that we were told specifically was like, we are learning because of the fact that we are right next to Mexico. We are in America. Because of that fact, we were being taught Mexican Spanish. It is not the same Spanish that would be spoken in Spain. So it was one of the first
double L's
distinctions
like are
that was
like
made in the class was like, do not go to Spain and use this because they will not understand what you're saying.
it would
It's
be
not
ja.
the same.
It would be ja. Like if you're gonna call somebody jama, or I mean chicken pollo pollo. So
Yeah.
I mean it really depends. Like it changes depending on the word that you're talking about. But like llama, it would be like to call would be ya. Yeah.
Oh shit, there is a way to not fall off. Holy shit. Okay. This revolutionized everything.
Pronounce it Laya. How? How does that work?
That's
I can't even imagine how to say that. Laya? Leia? Like Liyama?
like you're licking or something.
Leah. Leah? 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 Oh! But why? Is that like when they speak Spanish? Mangalianes? Mangalianes? It's just how we learned it. Okay. Um yeah. So like when I speak to people from Spain, they have a lisp. Mostly this is a history thing, by the way. The reason they have a lisp is because one of their queens had a lisp and they were making fun of her, and then she decided, oh, if you want to, anybody who's caught speaking without a lisp is getting executed, and that's why people in Spain speak a lisp. That's like, fun fact.
That's fantastic, actually.
Yeah, they were making fun of her. She got pissed off, and she was like, "Anybody speaking without a lisp is getting executed."
That's how you fucking do it. That's how you assert your dominance right there. Oh,
Yes, that's correct.
That's funny as fuck, and I love that fact.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
There's
fantastic.
many things like that throughout history.
I
that piss off
actually
rulers? Yeah.
always wondered why it sounded like they all had lisps.
That's why.
That's incredible. Holy shit.
So over the course of generations, because this lady was alive,
It literally changed the way the language was spoken and gave everybody a lisp.
Right.
That's awesome.
Hilarious.
That's fucking awesome. She literally changed the way people speak. She gave her entire nation a lisp. That's awesome.
Queen Isabella II. I don't remember the queen's name. Let me check that out.
I don't know who it was, but my brain immediately I heard Queen, and my brain jumped directly to Maria. I don't know if that's even remotely close to accurate. Maria was immediately the name that popped into my head. I might even be thinking of a different nation with a Queen Maria. That might be the one I'm thinking of, is Maria of Portugal. That might be the Maria I'm thinking of. Look, they're on the same landmass at least. They're both in Iberia, so I got that much going. It's close. At least it's two Iberian nations that I mixed up, and they're not on, like, separate ends of the continent or some shit. They're real close. Plus, if I remember correctly, they're fucking dynasties have been, like, real closely related anyway, so, or were. Not that they have dynasties anymore, I don't think.
So, according to a few things, which is funny because this is the first time I've heard this. According to the legend, that's what they're calling it, a legend, that people wanted to imitate royalty, which is why they did that.
Oh, so
But
they've
it's
rewritten
funny,
the narrative now.
It's funny because I don't remember. Like I studied abroad for a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and I don't remember anybody telling it like this. This is a retelling of what actually happened. So I've read it in 4 different web pages saying that it's to imitate royalty. Nah. Nobody would imitate being like like sounding like you're being funny. It was because they were forced to speak like that. That's why no other Spanish-speaking country speaks like that. Because if it was natural to speak with a lisp, everybody would do it in every single Spanish-speaking country.
That's true.
But it's not that. Because think about it. Somewhere along the lines, right? Us in Dominican Republic learned how to speak Spanish. Like the Taino people learned how to speak Spanish.
Correct.
If it were just because we were imitating royalty, we'd speak like that too. They were forced to do that, which forced them to go ahead and speak like funny people. I'm gonna say funny people because I have another term that I want to use, but I don't want to make this stream like banned or anything.
Please don't use that word.
Like on my stream, I'm okay. I'll fucking let it loose, but I'm not gonna make anybody else's stream. Let's see. Maria the Mad, is that true? I can't imagine. Still not so hot. Core bands again. Coming case where should not join invitation because of royalty. Represent
Well,
fashionable, and if lisping is fashion, they do it. Um, maybe on lisping it's not. I mean, lisping was never like. So in history, lisping was a sign of not only like a poor upbringing, but it meant you were slow. That's what over the course of history they thought lisping was about. Either you were like had a poor upbringing or you were slow.
yep. They thought she was dumb people.
That's why they were making fun of her. If I can, I'm gonna ask my buddy. My buddy is currently studying abroad in Spain, and I'm gonna see if he can take a snippet of like the textbook. It's gonna be in Spanish, but I'll translate it. And
Yeah, I would be interested to know.
the story's funny. I mean, I find it hilarious because like, how do you mock your ruler and then your ruler's like, okay, you want to play games? I got
I
you.
mean, I honestly think that that's fucking fantastic. That it started as just like a mocking thing, and then she was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, if you don't do it, you die. Like, talk about fucking asserting your fucking dominance. Like, that's insane.
And
That's
I guess it's
incredible.
an insult. It's calling it the Spanish lisp. It's an insult.
How is that an insult?
I don't know.
It's literally
I'm
a
re-
lisp used or that occurs specifically to Spaniards.
Right. So I'm reading online. If you call it the Spanish lisp, it's
What
it's
the fuck
offensive.
else are we supposed to call it?
I don't know. I mean that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. It's literally the definition of what's happening. It's just a description of the event that's taking place. What the fuck?
And I only ever hear that from people from Spain. I've heard like many people. I've heard Spanish people from Guatemala and Venezuela and yada yada yada. I've only ever heard the lisp in. Oh, there you go. What happened?
I think the game closed.
Okay, he must have woken up real quick and closed it.
Potentially. Yeah, he's not in the corner anymore. He's not in timeout chat.
His thing doesn't have a moon on it anymore. Yeah, he definitely got up and turned it off.
Yeah, that's fine.
You spooked him. Oh, it's because we were talking about the Spanish lisp. They just made him offended, so he closed the game.
I'm down to just sit and chat for a little bit longer. I don't need to play a game. I mean, I wasn't even actually accomplishing anything in the game anyway.
Right.
You
But yeah,
spooked him. Yeah, scared him off.
I mean, there are like other like crazy things in history, like things with Bloody Mary and like the Crusades were fucking crazy and
Dude, the world is a crazy place, man. A lot of crazy shit has happened.
right.
Like,
even some of the wars that should have been lost by like the smaller like places,
yeah,
like
that they managed to pull a fucking victory out of their ass.
right. Like there are several wars like written in what is that? There's that book, The Art of War. Like there's
the
some
Sun Tzu
tactics that were in there. Yeah, there you go. There's some fucking winning tactics in that book that were used by small tiny armies to defeat massive ones. It's crazy.
The interaction between Baldwin of Jerusalem and Saladin of Egypt is the pinnacle of political grace, though. I don't think I know what's happening there. How would I even go about Googling this? Oops.
They're rivals, but they try to keep the peace.
Baldwin's truce with Saladin was due to expire in May of 1182, but was broken in mid-1181 by Reynold, who seized a merchant caravan on its way from Egypt to Damascus. Reynold ignored the king's request to make restitution to Saladin. I'm confused. They are rivals, but they tried to keep the peace, and their interaction is immortalized by Edward Norton, who played Baldwin in that film. Didn't he also play as the Hulk in the Hulk movie? Just to loop everything back to comic books. Yes, he did. Okay, I thought so.
I gotta see this movie.
It was a... Oh, you're not talking about Hulk. It was bad. Internal conflicts with Saladin. Okay. Philip left the Kingdom of Jerusalem with his troops in late October 1177 to help Raymond of Tripoli attack the Muslim-led city of Hama with the Frankish army in northern Syria. Saladin seized the opportunity to invade Baldwin's kingdom on 18 November. Though still recovering from malaria, Baldwin rode to meet the Sultan. While the Knights Templar hurried to defend Gaza, the king took his humble host
The Templar Knights, holy
to
shit.
Ascalon, where in desperation he issued a rare ban, summoning all able-bodied men. Saladin reached Ascalon on 22 November, and Baldwin led the troops out to meet him. Seeing how drastically outnumbered he was, the king retreated into the city. Saladin too saw the strength in his numbers and confidently proceeded towards Jerusalem. Baldwin managed to contact the Templars, however, and ordered them to abandon Gaza and join him. Contrary to the Sultan's expectation, Baldwin and Reynold then rode out of Ascalon, joined up with the Templars, and attacked his dispersed army at Montgisard. The young king was in the forefront. Saladin, who barely survived, suffered a crushing defeat. Not having enough men to launch an offensive... okay. Not having enough men to launch an offensive on the retreating Muslims, Baldwin decided to fortify the Damascus frontier. The Templars convinced him to build a castle on the upper river Jordan. He was reluctant because the Franks had promised not to mark that part of the border. After protests of the local Muslims, Saladin offered money to Baldwin in exchange for aborting the construction, but the king refused. In 1178, Baldwin hosted the Patriarch of the Syriac Orthodox Church, Michael the Syrian, in Jerusalem and won his lasting loyalty to Frankish cause. In April 1179, Baldwin intended to round up the sheep. Passing from Damascus to Benares, Saladin's nephew, Constable Humphrey II of Touran, sustained fatal wounds while protecting the king. Weeks later, Baldwin rode out to intercept Bedouin raids of Beirut and Sidon, and in June, Saladin's raiding party routed Baldwin's. The king was uphorsed and carried to safety on a knight's back because he could not remount on his own. In late August, Baldwin summoned a host to Tiberias to respond to Saladin's siege of that place, but the castle fell before the relic of the true cross could be fetched from Jerusalem to accompany the Christian troops. What? I'm confused. Oh, there's a lot more. Oh, I see. Before Mark Ruffalo's goal. Yeah. Truce and resumed hostilities. Strengthened the position of his material kin. He remained unreconciled with Raymond, however, forbidden to enter the kingdom. Likely intended to charge Raymond with treason and deprive him of the Principality of Galilee. a fief of Jerusalem held by Raymond through marriage to Shiva of Buris. He sang reluctantly. Baldwin's truce with Saladin was due to expire. The king make restitution, who was preparing to annex the Zengid-ruled Aleppo. The king, who consistently acted against Saladin's attempt to expand in northern Syria, decided to oppose it. The recently anti-Catholic coup in Constantinople gave Saladin confidence to attack the Kingdom of Jerusalem. In July, Baldwin marched with his host to relieve the Muslim siege of Bethsan, and his outnumbered army won the battle of Le Forbet, whatever, that thing. Historian Bernard Hamilton attributes the victory to the respect and loyalty commanded by Baldwin, who stayed on the battlefield despite his illness and intense heat. Saladin's naval blockade abandoned the siege, proceeded north, before finally capturing. Agreeing to strategy. I'm not seeing. Yeah, I mean, it referred to him as the Leper King, right? Yeah, called the Leper King. Which, honestly, I don't think I had ever heard the name Baldwin the Fourth. I had only ever heard him referred to as the Leper King. So I actually didn't know who you were talking about at first. I obviously knew who Saladin was, but I had never heard the name Baldwin. I had only heard him referred to as the Leper King. So I knew who Saladin was, but did not recognize the name Baldwin. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, his history is incredible. Fucking love history so much. Absolutely love it. Anyway, it is past midnight now. I have been streaming for 15 and a half hours. I should get some sleep. Thank you, though, very much for chilling and chatting. I appreciate it a lot. It was a really good conversation, honestly. If you haven't joined the Discord channel, that's where it's honestly the best way to know when I'm going to go live, or when I'm going live, or if I am live, because I announce it in the Discord. Also have a great community of amazing people that can have some really interesting conversations. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And hopefully I'll see you another time soon. Yeah. Goodbye. Thank you. I will try my best. I have really bad insomnia, so sleeping well doesn't really happen very often, but I'm going to try my best. You have a great rest of your day, man.